You recording?
I am.
All right. Good morning, Tartaria Australia. How are you going? Hey, mister.
Going. Yes. Hello, everyone. Yes, welcome. Yes, well, I'm going good. I've just come back from Melbourne, had a bit of a whirlwind trip, stayed with our tour manager, Eddie,
Yeah,
Eddie the
cool.
Amazing.
Yep.
So, yeah, lots changing. Have to move house, working hard. And we've just started sending out edition four.
Ooh, we have
Edition
all
four
the
of the newspaper. Are
all
you
the
subscribed?
yes, all the internationals got sent yesterday. We're doing all the Aussies today. Very exciting. Actually on track, Campbell. We've reached we're before the deadline. Can you believe it?
No, we are getting our shit together. And by
Mm-hmm.
the
We
way, if
certainly.
you'd like to get your shit together, tartariaaustralia.com, scroll down and click on the Get Your Shit Together hour, and you too can be like us.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Well, the fourth edition is in the mail today, and we're pretty excited that we've made it to the fourth one. And then on Tuesday I go to Japan, which is interesting timing with this fuel thing going on. I
Yes.
tell you what, man, they are poor Australians. Honestly, we live in such a great continent. It's like the penalty they enforce on us, they can't disturb us with war. Or they can't all the other atrocious things that are happening in the world. But here in Australia, they're going to squeeze us economically so bad, man. I think
Hmm.
39%. We're above. What did I see the other day? That a gallon of fuel in America right now is $4 American, and the equivalent here is 11.95 at the
Hmm.
moment.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing, I think you're saying the average that the world price has been up with 10% and we went up
I mean,
39%.
it's such a classic COVID response for Australia, right? Like it's the
Yeah,
same playbook. It's yep.
that's crazy. Now they're talking about restricting fuel, so you can only get $40 worth, which is probably like a quarter of a tank, if that, for most people.
Yeah.
So they're definitely, I think we all know, right? They're trying to push another lockdown that's coming. They're trying to restrict
Well, definitely
movement.
here.
Mm,
Definitely here. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Australia suffers the most with these things. We're sort of like their experimental prison state, like they're really enforce such exaggerated, responses here in Australia. So for the rest of the world, it's not like we're seeing, cars abandoned on the street or anything. And it's not like we're seeing this, like, because I saw some clips from America about our empty supermarket shelves. Like that's not happening. It's not empty right now. But, I listen to the farmers all day with Carbonate, and the chatter is pretty real. A lot of our big sort of 100,000 acre producers, like the big ones, big time producers, have decided not to plant this year. And that's unprecedented. It's never happened in the history of their multi-generational farms. So, yeah, I mean, stuff's definitely happening around us. And I reckon this is
Mm.
going to be a long haul.
I think so, man. Time to get some chickens, right, and plant that veggie garden. um, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Australia, especially Melbourne, where you were, was the highlight of the COVID, all that stuff, and the police
Yeah,
going crazy, and all the
yeah.
lockdowns, and yeah, it looks like we might be front and center again, right? Get the world to look at Australia, and
Seriously.
like Australia in so many prophecies, I guess you'd call them, and New Zealand are supposed to be some of the safest places, right? If there is a change.
Yeah.
So we
Mm.
know that New Zealand's got the most bunkers being built from millionaires of any country. And I mean, who knows what's going on in Australia? There's so much, hidden and all this underground stuff. But yeah, basically, we're run by, complete socialist small hat PDF files, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like the rest of the world, I guess, but it does play out in Australia very uniquely. What happens here in responses to these things, very unique. And what do you do about it, You just have to like stay centered, stay earthed, lay low, just like, you know. connect in with your community. I don't know. What's the advice you can have during these times? I mean, it's a bit nerve-wracking. Obviously, it's going to be high impact financially. I mean, that's shit. It's shit that Australia's always squeezed this way, always. And there's
Yeah,
no one saving us. There's no solutions. There's no politician that's going to do anything. It's the same play out as COVID. So yeah, I mean, I think we're probably on our way to a lockdown in that
that's what
way.
I think that's what they want. And Australia is like we produce more than 40% of the world's food. So,
Oh, and
this is going to
everything,
affect
right?
everyone, right? And all the shipping, they just can't ship stuff anymore. And what do we hold? Like 40 days worth of fuel. And literally in
Yeah,
Australia,
according to them.
everything is trucked by trucks, right? Diesel and all the farm equipment and everything. So it's a big impact, right? It's going to be a big impact. But of course, it's all orchestrated, right? None of
Mm.
it's true. You're going to start to see videos put up, like you said, of empty shelves and people collecting toilet paper again, and all this stuff. And at this point with AI, we don't even know if it's real, but this is what they want us to believe, right? So, it can be an opportunity. It can help us, see that we do need to start getting food sovereignty, water sovereignty, maybe start looking into, free energy devices, right? Get some energy
Mm.
sovereignty. There's even little devices you can make and put on your car, right? That'll give you much better fuel economy. Can't say too much about that, but it's out there. Like we all know all these car engines that came out and then what happened to the inventors. But so we can see it as an opportunity as well, right? I think it's much more be prepared, not scared. I mean, the fear thing will just shut us down, and that's not good for anything. So, I'm always into solutions, right? What can we do to get around this and just stop their reach encroaching into our
Yeah.
lives?
I mean, at the end of the day, this system of theirs, this system is dissolving in front of our eyes. It's dissolving. Like it's in that dissolution isn't painless, like things have to change and things will break apart and, less and less interaction with that system and that play out there. It's like
And and in the end, we don't know really what's going on. All we know is that they control the media and the internet, so they control what we see. So all of
yes,
this is no doubt orchestrated for a certain outcome that they want.
definitely.
But yeah, we get to choose, right?
Hmm.
We can choose something different, and I think it can be an opportunity. It just depends how we look at it, right?
I mean, there was reports of Jetstar canceling all their flights, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're going to go to Japan in a couple of days, and Japan for me, it's sentimental because I spent 3 years there when I was like 20 years old, and I fucking loved it. Something about me in Japan is a nice fit, and so it's a nostalgic trip for me, but. Also, it's going to be, of course, really interesting to report from Japan how the Japanese people and media are spinning this experience, how it's affecting them. But I can pretty much say, based on all my other trips in these moments of disasters, where there's been many, um, Australia is in a unique media bubble and with a unique agenda that really squeezes the population way more and way out of proportion than any other nation. There's a pattern here with Australia. And I suspect we'll go over to Japan and nothing, there'll be nothing happening, hardly any noticeable change or increase in any aspect and 3 weeks we'll get back to Australia and the planes will hardly be flying and you won't be able to leave your house and there'll be restrictions in every way and no one will have any petrol and the shelves will be empty and it's like it's so curated, it's so curated and controlled. So yeah, I mean, it's a weird time to leave the country in the middle of this, but anyway, also fantastic and fascinating, right? So
Mm.
I would definitely do a show with you next week from Japan and report on that. Imagine if I go over there and I'm like, Campbell, Japan is empty, just like China.
Just
And you're
like
going to be like,
China.
get fucked.
There's no one here. Yeah, well, Japan is um it's basically sovereign with its food, right? It's self-sufficient, I guess you would say. It
Pretty much is. It's
creates
legalized.
everything it needs, right? So it shouldn't
Yep.
really be affected. But this is the thing. So is Australia. We produce all our enough, to feed the country easily, to power it, all this kind
Mm.
of stuff. But our communist government give it all away to other countries for free. Like they literally dig out the coal, take all the gas, and don't even pay taxes on it, let alone
Mm.
pay royalties, and then
Yeah, man.
they sell it back to us, right, at exorbitant prices. So
We're the
it's a
great op
big
shop of the
scam.
world, as we've said before, the great op shop of the world.
The great
You know,
offshop
people
of the
just come
world.
and take
Yes. And we
anyway,
don't
but
really know what's going on. There's all these reports of, obviously BB, not being with us anymore, and all these images of Israel being flattened, like looking like Gaza. I mean, that may be happening. This actually may be what we've all been asking for, right? But I think, because we've spent so many years going down rabbit holes and we're so distrustful of all this stuff that, we don't really put it up as as an actual something that could be happening, but this could be as well, right? What we've been waiting for. Maybe Israel's going to be bombed out of it all. I mean, Kelly shakes her head.
I
No.
haven't been waiting for that.
Well, we want, but that's the power. That's the head of the snake, isn't it?
Well, is
Really?
it? Is it? I don't know,
Well,
Campbell.
that's the small head of the snake. The big one's underwater somewhere.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a complex, multi-layered, perverse, deceptional system that there's no like surface level action like killing the prime minister that's going to have any sort of response
No.
to any of this. Like that's that's sort of like in the nostalgic books from the 50s,
Yeah, you
when
can
like
vote your
something
way
big
out of this.
it just doesn't, it's not like that. It doesn't feel like that. And it just doesn't really deserve much of our attention, I don't think. I mean, I've certainly got to a point,
Well,
well, of like pretty simple in my perspective now. And world events are less and less and less interesting to me on that level. I don't hardly tune into it anymore. And I'm sorry for everyone out there who really loves it when Campbell and I decipher what's going on in the world and give our updates and talk about these topics. But my interest has definitely shifted. It's definitely moved away from analyzing and exploring those realms. It's definitely moved into a new direction. And I think
hmm,
probably instinctively, a lot of us would be feeling that same shift of attention, no matter
yeah.
how newsworthy it is, no matter how big the concept of whatever's happened out there is. It just, I don't know, it just
Well,
feels hollow and shallow and retarded.
we know that they want our attention, right? They want our worship. They want us to be focusing on them and what they're putting out. And, if we're creator beings, which, we all kind of believe, then the more that we watch them and their stories, the more that we're creating that for them.
Yep.
So I think, becoming bored with it all and seeing really that it's just a useless loop, right? Because we've been doing this, en masse, I guess, since 2020. But what's changed? What's
Yep.
changed with all the information? We're all full of information, but not a lot of wisdom, right? Because wisdom is getting that information and turning it into something, doing something physical with it, right? Actions. So I think that's definitely, we've discussed this a bit over the last few weeks, is that's the direction I think we need to go in, right? We need to focus on the world that we want to create, not the world that they want us to create. And so the internet's eating itself. We don't even know what to believe anymore. There's so much AI,
Yeah, and you
you
can't you
know.
can't take actions on those topics. Like you can't take action on the top. If you tune into any of it, there's no action to take from your perspective. There's nothing that can be done there. It's just this, big play out of a dying system, or at least it's a play out of a system that it from our eyes is dying. From our perspective, our withdrawal, our natural physical withdrawal from that space has happened. But one thing Cam and I will definitely commit to is we'll still be here every Friday. Like that's what we commit to. Whatever's happening out there, good, bad, whatever. We'll still be here every
Yeah,
Friday to have a little natter, a little
maybe
chew.
maybe we'll get to our pirate radio station soon. We'll just be here on little microphones and you'll be all tuning in on your little ham radios.
That would be fun. That something we would adapt to very easily
Yeah,
and with
man.
fun and joy. Yep. So actually today's show we have pre-recorded again, and this time we had a really fun conversation with Dale Holmes, one of our favorites, and Madeline, and who I haven't met before and was excellent. And what's their channel called, Cam?
Sky to Earth podcast. I believe they're on Spotify and, of course, just Dale Holmes on YouTube, but we'll leave the links below.
Excellent. Yeah. And so we had a rambling dialogue about all sorts of wonderful things. And so instead of
Yes.
doing a massive long introduction this morning, we'll just press play on
Yes.
last night's conversation, I reckon.
Yes. There you go. So enjoy, guys. Of course, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Share it around. And
Yeah.
enjoy. And if you haven't, seen or heard of Dale and Madeline before, go check them out. Links below.
Well,
And
yes,
subscribe to our newspaper,
and we did kind of
tartariaaustralia.com.
pre-pressure them to coming to the Blue Mountains to speak to
Yes.
everyone with us on the Sunday, because you know how we like to have guests on the Sunday. So yeah, we have put a call out to Dale and Madeline to turn up and get their
Yeah.
shit together and turn up. And that'll be really super fun. Of course, Dale's been doing shows with us since almost the beginning now. When was
Yeah,
it
he
kind
was
of
on the
like,
second Melbourne show. I think it was the first one, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
yeah,
years.
yeah.
And Paul, Dale, we just talk to him and then we just tell him, oh, by the way, you're coming to our event to talk. And then we make
Yeah.
posters about him and he's like, oh God, I'll have to turn up now.
Mm. Well, we really love it when we've got some Aussie guests with us, and it's really our pleasure and honor to be able to talk to them. We don't mind where everyone's perspective is or what everyone's thoughts are. It's irrelevant to us. I mean, the enjoyment is in the chew, the enjoyment is in the chat,
Mm,
and no topics ever off limits, and no attitude is ever too diverse for us. We really love it. So
mm.
yeah, we really get excited. So that's the Blue Mountain gigs, everyone, which is coming up. And
Yes,
just to remind you about Adelaide,
Adelaide.
but I think we mentioned that in the show. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
yeah. In 1 month, Rachel Vaughan's going to be there as well. So yeah, tartariaaustralia.com. Check it out. It's got all of our live events for the year on there, and tickets for all of them are
Yeah,
available now. So if you're
yeah,
interested, do buy them. Because especially with the fuel, we've got to consider cost now. And
yeah.
so if you want to go and you get your tickets, then we know we've got an audience and it's feasible and everything. Rather than us, spending thousands of dollars turning up to 20 people. So if you're
Yeah,
into
you're
it, go
worth
and buy
it.
your ticket. We would go anyway, but
We
we
would
just
go
don't have the
anyway.
funds to fund, a $10,000 event with, out of our own pockets at the moment. So just let us know if you're interested. Buy your tickets, wherever it may be in Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, the gatherings are the key. So it could go either way here. If we get restricted in Australia and there's like lockdowns and no one's allowed to travel, our shows can go either way. It's in that beautiful like moment that our audience decides to rebel and fuck them, and we'll do sell out crowds on the basis that no one's allowed to travel. We will end up selling out the gig.
Yeah, man.
Or it could just be, the gig doesn't go forward because no one can actually afford to travel. So either way, it's all up in the air, which I love, of course. That's all part of the creativity and unexpected spontaneity. So we'll
Yeah.
see how it all plans out. But we're moving forward with definitely the events, definitely Adelaide and Blue Mountain, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll be doing as many as we can, as many
I
as are
think
feasible, for
I think we're
sure.
booking Melbourne this week as well. So I think we found a venue for Melbourne. So that's also going to be secured in there.
Yes.
So hmm.
And Melbourne's, yeah, classically been, a very big, strong crowd. So again, if you're there and you want to come, go grab your tickets now, and then we can get everything sorted and paid for, and make sure that these events are going to happen. Because yeah, like we don't know what's going to happen, so we're just rolling with the punches at the moment, seeing what the future road holds for us. But either way, we will keep going. We will keep
I mean,
plodding along.
if there is a lockdown, we would definitely keep going because
Oh
that
yeah,
is the funnest time to do this
yeah,
sort of stuff
man.
and to have a party with each other, regardless of who's telling us we can't. That is my
I know,
favorite.
right?
And
Lockdown two, electric boogaloo.
Mm. So, all right, everyone. Well, we'll see you next Friday. Enjoy the chat with Dale and Madeline, and I'll be reporting in from Japan on the next
Right.
podcast, and we'll get a little bit of insight about what's going on in the Asian continents around this topic, which is always very fascinating.
Yes, awesome. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show, everyone. Lots of
See ya.
love.
Bye. All
Matt,
right.
can you press?
Um,
Can you request? just in
I
case.
did. I did.
Are you recording?
I think so. But the problem is, Dale, that I record and it never works.
All right. Can someone else record just in
Yeah,
case?
I'm
You
recording.
sound worse
Okay,
than us,
thank you.
you two. This
I'm
is good.
recording. It's my
Fucking, we've had like Mercury retrograde. It was a fucking doozy. Like
Mercury, man. Jeez.
I never acknowledge it much, but it was fucking bad.
And I'm pretty sure every meeting we scheduled with people during Mercury retrograde didn't go through. So I think we've had 2 weeks not doing podcasts, haven't we? Like we scheduled all these podcasts, did them all,
Yeah.
and then it was so effed up that it just ended. Except Jacob.
I didn't tell you that I thought I'd lost Jacob's one, and I spent 6 hours trying to get it back, and like I was too scared to tell you. Anyway,
that would be
Well, it'll all change today now that we're here.
Yes.
It'll record perfectly.
Yeah, because you two need to join the Get Your Shit Together hour, you see. That will change all of this.
Yes, that's true.
So anyway, we did want to get you on because like I just wanted to have a chat about how you tour and that was going and how people are receiving this information, because we had Clint Walker on the other week, this Aboriginal guy over in WA, and he's just got like his knowledge is phenomenal. He's one of the Indigenous that like Mads could explain more, but he's just like his knowledge of the stories is unbelievable, right? But he speaks about the Marga, these creation beings that come from the water. And then I was asking him about the UFO. I might send it to you if you haven't heard it, at least that bit. But he was because their structure, they have like the all creator God, right? And then they have these, they call them Marga, don't they? Kind of like sub gods, but they created human beings and that. And I asked him about UFOs, like what's going on now with all these UFOs coming in out of the water, and he said, "Oh, that's like." I go, "Do the Marga go into the water?" And he's like, "Yeah, they come and go." And like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was just in theme with what you were saying. I'm like, it's fucking always good when you have, like, when you can date it to something here too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Did you hear about, what was his name? Harold or Gerald or something? The dolphin? Did you hear that weird story?
Oh, you haven't heard? That's
Some
the
guy
funny story
reckon
of the
he
whole
got
fucking month.
Some guy reckons he got kidnapped by dolphins and they took him underwater and made him build.
I did hear this,
yes,
but on the
yeah.
post, everyone's like, this is AI. Everyone was writing, this is AI on the post. And so it's
But
legit.
that was a Simpsons episode, wasn't it?
Well, when they all came out on land and they were evil, it was kind of like that. But I don't know, I haven't confirmed, but I just saw something just then saying that the US Navy has just gone out and killed 40 dolphins in the same area that this was supposed to have happened. But it's a very strange story anyway.
There is the law in America.
But as such, tracking there.
Because it's illegal to talk to dolphins, you know that.
Yeah, that's the law in
It's
America.
actually a law. It's illegal to talk to dolphins.
But this Gerald story, so the dolphin's name is Gerald.
Gerald,
like the guy who got kidnapped, he came back full of like marine particles in his lungs,
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
scars on his hands, like basically told the story that he was kidnapped, taken down under the water, given like the ability to breathe
To
underwater
breathe.
by
Yeah.
Gerald, the head dolphin, and was forced to build and then finished and then got released back up. And the amount, because obviously I got interested in this, that was like the funnest thing of the whole month, fucking the war, but then there's kidnapping dolphins. I was like, I'm going there. So like, and yeah, it's pretty validated. Like I would not say I'm on the verge of it
The
being
only thing
real.
that like gets me is like, what were they building and why? Why do dolphins need to build stuff? It's not like they can sit down or
Yeah,
anything.
but what
Or
are dolphins, Cam?
What a
well,
dolphin.
who
You know what? We've
knows?
been sold a flipper story. They've been around for eons. If you look at the indigenous culture, whales and dolphins have a big part to play. And I just am convinced we have an incomplete aquatic civilization down there. So who are
Well,
dolphins,
do you know what
And
do you know what I've heard from this? Do you remember Stuart Swerdlow? You would have.
oh, yes,
No,
I read all those books.
I read all his books years ago,
Same.
right? And like I don't know how it was some pretty whack shit,
Yeah.
but I remember he said in there that all autistic kids
Mm.
are incarnated dolphins. That's what he said.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I
But
remember that.
but this has been coming out about Montauk. They were talking about because they set up like Montauk Base was set up in the early foundation days of America. I think it was Washington that like, and they originally had this underground area at Montauk, but then it was right on the cliff edge. And then they said even out to like World War II and that all the submarines were being seen, they wouldn't see them for months, and they go underground under this water table in Montauk. And we know like about Montauk, right? That was this like they were doing human animal hybridization tests and
Yeah.
all that weird shit.
Yep.
What's that
I
guy,
mean,
Matt, of
Yeah.
Collective? Oh, what is it? Collective. What's his name? No.
Cultivate, elevate. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's spoken about, that fourth phase of water and how there's water, there's an ocean under the ocean, and how they just create more water, or they bring up more water from this fourth phase water, or this other extra water body that we have underneath the ocean. So you think like, I mean, there's so many possibilities with it. And I was going to say as well, the connection with the dolphins and the whales, like the kinship laws, they follow the same kinship laws as the tribal people as well, which goes all the way back to the creation beings or the Marga, which were the ones that gave those laws to the human beings. And the Marga were the ones that came from the ocean. But they came from the ocean this is from the story, after the land they were on was destroyed because of laws that were broken. And then there was like, those were the ones that decided to keep the laws of balance, and they're the ones that passed on the laws to the tribal people.
Interesting. It's very Atlantis-y, isn't it?
And I just had quite a long weekend conversation with two of my friends who basically gypsy around the elders of Australia with medicines. And we were recalling the story of the whales and how they actually walked into the ocean. They were terrestrial and walked into the ocean. And the story of balance makes total sense to me, because I don't think we had a rapture. I think we had a rupture. And I don't think salt water is organic to this realm. I think it came up from the depths, which would then make sense of it being a different type of water, the water underneath the water.
Is the prime water, is it? Yeah.
Now I've heard you explain this in so many other videos, but can you like relate that, especially
hold on, Dale, that speaks into your theory about the pineal gland being an implant, because the reason why we have a pineal gland and the whole reason our whole brain structure changed was because of iodine, because we started eating things from the ocean that obviously have the salts. Very interesting.
Calcification of the pineal, is that salt?
It's fluoride.
Fluoride, yeah.
It's heavy metals.
I know, but like there's the actual
it's not calcium.
That process salt or calcium?
Well, no one's ever asked me that question, Dal, and I don't know the answer, but let's find out, because that's interesting.
We can push past an edge, Kelly.
Yeah, let's figure that one out.
Push past an edge. Geez, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, how does salt affect the pineal gland? That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then
Yeah,
our blood plasma rate is very similar to the actual ocean. So how does that play
almost
into it?
uncannily,
Is that because
like it was
we've
designed.
been changed somehow?
Yeah, that's
Had
what I
it
think.
introduced?
There's
Yeah.
an there's an actual change that's taken place, which has been tracked. Like this is based off, what do you call it? Evolutionary, whatever, you know.
Well,
Biology,
It's
I
Darwinism.
think the salt is the AI aspect too, because that's the Osiris story of fashioning a new body from a fucking stone penis, which is salt.
and it
Right?
holds memory too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's that
charge.
story of Lot's wife too. Where were they running from? Sodom and Gomorrah, weren't they? And Lot's wife turned to a pillar of salt.
Yeah, all what we've discovered in the research of this is all the sacred relics are aquatic technology. They all affect things to do with water.
Hmm.
Like Moses's staff split the oceans, the Ark of the Covenant split the oceans, the Spear of Destiny pierced Jesus, and water and blood came out, like two distinctive types.
Mm,
There's all Jesus was walked on water, brought the fish from the water. It's all water orientated. You can really transcribe the Bible into an aquatic book.
Hmm.
wow.
Well, do you said Gerald, right? Gerald and the dolphin.
Gerald the
Which is a great
dolphin.
name. Can I just say
Well,
it's a
well,
It
I,
would
great
be
looked,
better if
I
it
had
was
to I had to
Geraldine.
look up the etymology.
Geraldine.
I had to look up the etymology. I don't know if you've done it, but because you just said spear then, and it said Gerald is a masculine name, Germanic origin. This is just from Google, meaning ruler with a spear or the spear wielder. It is derived from Old Germanic, meaning spear or lance.
Wow. Okay. So like maybe a trident, a triple spear.
Well, yeah,
Poseidon, all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
So
let's
anyway,
see.
tell us about your tour. How's it been going, and how's it been
Well,
received?
first of all, hello to your whole audience.
Okay,
I've
we've
not
got
met
Kelly
any
and
of you
Campbell.
Where's
before,
my
so
hand?
hi.
Hello.
Well, I'll do an intro here, and then I can put
Go
it at the
on,
start.
get an
So
intro
Yeah,
in.
man. Jeez. Come on.
this is how we do it.
Just properly.
Welcome to Scott Podcast.
Still
We have
learning.
Kelly and Campbell here today from Tartaria Australia and Autodidactic, and I think they've been doing a bit of a tour. They did one close to you, Madeline, in Rockhampton. You missed it,
Oh,
and then you've got one coming up in Blue Mountains, I believe.
Well, Adelaide's
Adelaide
next
first. Yep.
So,
In a
do
with
month.
Rachel.
I
Rachel
know.
Vaughan.
So
Yeah.
do you want to tell us about it? Oh, that'll be awesome with Rach. She'll love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
She's
going
going
to
to
come
talk
on
on the
this.
Sunday. So we've
Yep.
organised a venue for that. So it's going to be like a 2-day event pretty much.
Yeah, bonus
Let's
beat.
give it a bit of a plug while we're here. Tell us what you're doing and
All
what.
right.
Yeah,
Wow. We've only done one show so far in Rockhampton, but we've got
for this
another
year.
5 or 6 booked.
We've got
And it's
Adelaide,
the invasion tour is what
Blue
we're
Mountain.
doing, which is our theory of where the invaders came from. And it's all to do with the ocean. It all started with Kelly asking, where did the internet come from? And you get this crazy story that they laid the first transatlantic cable in 1858, right off the back of wooden boats. And, what was
5,000
it? A
kilometers,
ton.
yes.
Yeah. And it weighed like a ton per mile or something. And they were just like winding it out by hand as they went across the ocean. This really
Yeah.
crazy story. And it was wrapped in like sap because they hadn't
Mm.
invented plastics yet. So it was,
Mhm.
they bound it in sap and all this. It's a very strange story, but we sort of kept continuing that thought, and it led us to some pretty strange things.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
all
so
starts with a question, Cal, doesn't it?
well, I was just going to say, so yes, we are touring Australia. We've made it a big mission this year. We tour every year, but we do sort of sporadic shows. But this year we're doing a proper tour, and it's just really basically for our opportunity to meet our community. That's sort of always our drive. Um, and so yeah, so we're in Adelaide at the beginning of May, and then we're in the Blue Mountains in June. That one's going to be fucking excellent. That's
Yes.
the big one I'm promoting because we've hired a recording studio for 2 days just to call out to the musos in our community to just rock up and make music and to see what we come up with. And hopefully they're all going to bring some cool songs and some anthems, and we'll get the chicken dance recorded, which is our only sacred ritual in the tour, and
You
come
need
out
to
of it
get
with a
Julia.
vinyl record. We've gone back to the vinyl and we'll produce
Or a
it and then
cassette
we'll
tape,
have
maybe. We'll go and get
Everything
some.
but digital.
Yeah, we'll go and get a stack of TDK cassettes and like record it.
Yeah, because the whole vibe of everything we do is about creativity, right? As you know, Dale, like we're all about like stepping into the unknown in that way and keep plodding along in really unexpected creative ways. And then after the Blue Mountains, we were scheduled in for Perth. Not sure about that one with the fuel shit.
Oh,
And
Mads,
then
we need to
we're,
go to Perth.
huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Melbourne, and then we're going to New Zealand, and then we're going to
Tasmania.
Tasmania. So that's our year ahead. And in
Yeah.
between those months, so it's like every 6 weeks, we publish the newspaper. So it's a hectic year of doing stuff like that, but we're very excited about it. So yeah, I mean, and we're pretty much this like the scallywag truthers that just move around Australia like C grade rock stars
We
that,
try and be
end
rock
up in the
stars.
RSL clubs.
In our heads, we're rock stars.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So
So
we
we've
always
definitely got to
have,
release an album, right? With a picture on the front. Yeah, man.
yeah, we're basically at that CD level of, I don't know. I mean, my first concert was Don McLean at the Tweed Heads RSL Club.
What
That's
was
sort
it?
of like above us level wise, but
Yes.
we do tend to be at RSL clubs and community halls, anywhere out of this.
We're more like
We try to get
uncanny
into nature.
X-Men kind of level.
Yeah.
But because, you know why? Because, I mean, look at my example. Our community, they're still stoic smokers. Thank God and praise the Lord that we still have smokers in this world because
Hey,
it's
I always feel so comfortable with the Tartaria community because I don't even need to hold back. I can just
okay.
chain smoke if I feel
Chain
like.
smoke your way through, Dale. It's all about being authentic in yourself. But our community, there's a lot of green smoke in the midst, and so we can't be in some like fucking theater hall. Every time that happens and we're in the city, like I pray for rain. I pray for rain because it follows us because everyone's so
Hey,
social
can
afterwards,
I
and
stop? I hadn't had weed for about 10 years.
you
And
had a
then
bad time, man.
Yes, at the Jolly Swag.
I was
You went
talking
too
to,
far,
I was talking to Kelly, and then freaking Jeffro kept putting it in
Jethro.
my face. And then he goes, "No, it's good stuff." I had 3 puffs. I
Yeah,
couldn't talk.
Oh, mate,
no.
you got to
And
be.
then they said, "Who'd you get off?" I go, "Jeffro," and they go, "Don't smoke Jeffro."
Got to be
No, you
careful of that
fool.
stuff, mate.
And then
I'm
I was
a
walking off to my tent, and then someone's like, "Oh, hey Dale, how you going?" And I just looked I couldn't even talk. I'm like,
that. What a little boy, Dale. You went too far, too hard with the big See, I'm a microdoser, everyone. I'm like a microdoser. I'm not like a doobie smoker, and I've never tried a bong, but I microdose. So for me, like all you need to come and get one off me, Dale. You needed to come to the
an excellent way
controlled
to do
source.
it.
Anyway,
Yes.
that's all beside the
Oh,
point.
wait,
Last
Nice.
year,
what's the date? What's the date for Adelaide? If people still want to
2nd
go,
of May.
Yes, tartariaaustralia.com. It's got all the
And it's
dates of all the
groovy.
shows up there.
It's a super fun experience. We do a full day presentation. We've got it. It's very schmick at the moment. I'm very happy with it, and the ending's excellent. And it's just getting better and better every time we do it. And then we will socialize in the evening. We'll go out to the pub with everyone who wants to join us just to spend some time. And then the next day we do a bonus beat because that's cool, right? And in the bonus beat days, we just walk around and check it, or we have a speaker, or we meet at a pub and just hang out more. And that's sort of the weekend schedule. And all of that happens every live event. So it's fun. It's a really good vibe. And fuck, man, when do you get to, remember when the protests were on and like the best time ever was the protests when we could go and socialize and it was like the best thing ever? Well, that's the vibe, man. We're still, we're
hey
there,
man,
we're there.
you've never seen anyone that can hold a crowd for like to do a full day presentation. Only people I know that can do that off the cuff is David Icke and fucking Kelly
And Kelly.
Campbell.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't even
Campbell trying to catch up, going, bloody hell.
Yeah, he's got to keep
one
up,
day,
man.
one day I'll get better, but then she'll be way up there.
But
I
like
do love
you
it.
guys are unbelievable. That as far, I mean, you've spent a lot of time together, but you do like it's like soul connection that you can like
Man, we have.
you actually bounce when you stop. We're a little bit like that too, Mads, but we just interrupt each other.
We interrupt each other too much anyway. We just get excited. It's fine for us. Everyone else listening, they can't stand it. Good.
Well, they must love it because they listen,
Yeah.
you see.
What was the Rockhampton group like? What was the
Excellent.
vibe? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So where did you go? Like, where was the
Where
venue?
were we, Cam? Like we were
Oh, a little
20
town
minutes.
like 10 minutes out. I can't remember what it was called.
Gracemere or
Got this little old, sorry, what was that?
Gracemere?
I
Oh,
don't think
or
so.
Yeppoon, Emu Park?
No, it
No.
wasn't Yeppoon.
No,
We
it's sort of
basically
out the
found a
south
community
way a little
hall.
bit.
Oh, gotcha. Yep, yep.
We found a community hall because there was no venues in Rockhampton for us
Yep.
to
Yep,
hire. So we
hungry.
went to it, which was so cute and perfect. And
Hungry.
hence, the green thing. We had to like community hall and it's fucking excellent. We love the Australian community halls. They're like our vibe. And they're all cute and quaint and there was bunting everywhere. All my favorite things, wooden floors and bunting and a little stage. And I swear, man, we had people driving from Mount Isa, from Darwin, from Cairns. Like they drive for days. Like, yeah,
Oh,
they're very super
awesome.
cool and engaged and really do make the effort to come. So Rockhampton was just because our very second show was in Rockhampton. So we thought, fuck it, let's go back to Rockhampton. So we did.
Oh, so good.
It's a
Oh,
great way of like just being able to travel around Australia too, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
And see people get there. It's awesome.
Yeah. We drove up there, but we drove into the Blue Mountains. Probably fly everywhere else. But yeah, it's a good way to get around, right? And see the world, see Australia,
Yeah, if we
especially
can
with all
drive, we
this
can. Yeah.
all this weirdness going on with international travel. That might have to be put off for a year or so, but well, not for Kelly, who's leaving in a week. But
Are
but
you
yeah,
going to Japan, are you?
Just for a couple of weeks, see what they think about all
Can you,
this.
can
It's
you
always
tell us
very
your
interesting.
Japan stories again? I mean, I could do.
Just
the
fucking
koala story.
Wait, I just want to tell Mads and the audience for like, because there's people that might know Kelly. That Kelly like pissed. I don't know how old she was. She was young. She flew to Japan with nothing. Like
yeah,
she put like some pasta in her backpack or
20
He had a
packets.
loaf of
20
bread
packets.
with peanut butter between
No,
each
that's how
piece.
I turned up at
Remember?
the monastery, Cam. That's
like
how I got to the monastery.
imagine going. I'm going to fly to Tokyo. What are you taking? I'll bring some. I'll bring some Maggi 2 minute noodles in my bag and just hope it works out.
Yeah,
And a
that's
koala suit.
no, it was more than that. I had a koala suit, which I stole and borrowed and returned 4 years later, and for busking. And I had 20 packets of spaghetti to survive food wise because I didn't know, and $20. That's
And
what I had.
how long did you last in Japan?
I was there for a few years up until I moved to the monastery in Brighton in the UK, in which case I did go with a whole loaf of bread, buttered with peanut
Oh, that
butter
was a
as
loaf of
my
bread.
food and had to be homeless for a little while, but I did it anyway.
Like,
But that was it,
like the whole leap of faith thing.
expensive.
Like you've taken too many leaps of faith. I think.
Too many.
I mean, if
But that's how you're supposed to do your whole life.
I
She's
know, Kelly,
ascended us all, man.
No, but like to be fair, people, the world has changed. And, we can see that just from the color spectrum. Like the world back when we were younger was much brighter and much more vibrant. The color, it's changed. The whole
Yeah.
energy that runs this realm has shifted. So that sort of light-hearted spirit that I had as a 20-year-old, it's definitely been weighted down now. It's definitely changed. So unfortunately, we may be probably the last generation that kind of felt that sort of easygoing, light-hearted nature, and the world was still very stable. It was just
it
constant and
was so
stable,
stable.
and
It
you
was so
kind of,
stable.
yeah, it was really
Unstable,
stable.
isn't it? Even
Yeah,
after
and now it's
9/11, it
just the
was.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Yeah, it was stable. I remember always this, my parents and presented a pathway of what happened to them. And even though I was never going to do what they did, you kind of had the same story, right? That you would eventually, like, you'd go out there and, live your purpose and make your mark and then like fall in love and then, do the thing. That's not like that anymore. I don't even know how the
I
younger
don't, and the
generations are
young
going.
generation don't believe in that anymore, do they? And like you can see it in like
They want to, though. They're very, what's I'm noticing? They're very nostalgic for a time they've never experienced.
yeah, that for something they never.
Really nostalgic. I think it's Gen Z,
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe, that are really nostalgic, and 90s fashion and everything 90s is becoming really cool.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
yeah.
90s
totally.
anorexia is coming back too.
And the
90s
music.
anorexia.
Yeah,
It's
and like
Ozempic now.
Charlie was listening to Britney Spears the other day. I was like, what? It's like I'm 20 years old.
Britney Spears. Wow.
But you know what? It's really interesting because as we sort of move through this really unstable time, it does sort of start to clarify our purpose in all of this. The ones who've spent like the last 20 years like deep diving and trying to figure all this shit out, our purpose of doing all that is to basically leave a legacy now for those young people to come back through it and be grounded back in the earth, like to put them back on earth as earthlings. That's the main issue. Like no one feels like they belong anywhere, right? And so particularly the younger people, like what are they belonging to? Certainly not this unstable world. They're sort of belonging more and more to AI, which is the invader. So, it's all about, I think, our collective legacy, all of us, our age group, and the people who've been doing this for a long time, is to basically work out many different ways to help the next generation and the one after that to belong again to the earth. And I think that's the only way we can really reground and basically start the rebuild of the creedal culture that we want to define as the legacy of the next 1,000 years. So we've got work to do. Like, we've been kind of sitting on our asses for a bit, getting our head around all this bullshit and deception, right? And we're moving into that phase now where you've got to make a choice, like COVID. Are you going to be active in the legacy? Are you going to be active as are you going to become your elder and your custodian now and lead the way and actually do the hard work? Or are you going to just sort of like pass slowly at the murk and mire of all of these two worlds collapsing,
Well, Kelly, did you, like me and Madeline, but we had a break from the podcast, probably like 8 months, right? And then we almost
did a conference in that time though.
Oh, we did do a conference, yeah. But anyway, there was a long period of like layoff, and we didn't really communicate much. And then when we got back together, we were like, we were both burnt out. But it was kind of like, oh, it's like go time now. But we used the same. Have you felt that like towards maybe the end of last year into, burnout?
I don't know. It's like it's burnout because all of this information's coming into the mainstream now. We've known about it for years and years and years. And I was almost burnt out watching the reactions of people coming into this knowledge now and almost having to see them go through everything I went through so long ago and have moved past. That's the feeling like, oh gosh, and that kind of the patience and just the reflection of how long we've had of being aware of all these things, them now coming into awareness around it and being like, oh my gosh, who are we, who's listening? What are we doing anymore? I was in that space. Like, who am I even speaking to now? Because I feel like a lot of people that, especially that have connected with Dale and I, and probably you guys too, I would say, have known about this stuff for so long. They don't need to know anymore, really. They want to follow those quests, that question and as more like a curiosity adventure, to further themselves and like play in this space and all of that. And I was like, oh, are we speaking now to this next wave of people that are like, because I still have people contact me that have only just sort of come into the awareness of things. And then you think, well, what do you even, that's where I was like, I had nothing to say because I was like, I don't even know where to begin. Where do you begin?
That's why you guys, because you are fucking pushing it again with like these new questions, right? And where it's leading.
Well, it's been like, what, 6 years now? Yesterday, wasn't it? 6 years since the whole pandemic. And, everyone's been researching and there's, like you said, there's so much stuff on social media now. But what's really changed? But we've all been down more rabbit holes, but what's the result? It's not a lot, really. We've got all this information, but we're not turning it into wisdom. We're not doing it. So I think it's time. Well, we're definitely feeling, I think that it's time we need to do that, right? We can't, and even if there is more to learn, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like, we need to do something because everyone's talking about, the 5D reality and the new earth and all this stuff that's coming. But what are we doing to build that? Or are we just sitting there like mung bean hippies, like expecting something to just change while we do nothing?
It's, to me, it's easy, right? Like that lethargy and that weight that you're feeling, that sort of thing. That's because you're not inspired, so because you've completed it now. You've done it. Yes, there can always be a few little tidbits and find some new, and there'll always be something, but your inspiration's changed. So in lack of inspiration, everything does feel heavier, and it's easy to feel heavy in this climate, right? If you're not being inspired.
That is what it is. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So you've got
also a bit of helplessness in there as well, right? Like, because nothing's changing. Like, we're all going, oh, the shift is coming. Everyone's waking up, but it's coming. I really hope it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, like the answer always to this like new Earth version, this new custodianship or legacy is always creativity. It is always hands down creativity. So if you're not feeling inspired and you're feeling the weight, it's because you haven't like decided to do something fun and creative. So that would be my advice to you guys. Do something fun and creative,
That's great
like out
advice.
of the box, unexpected together, and then do that and see how that feels. Because it's so funny with Tartaria, right? Because that's what Cam and I started off, obviously, Tartaria Australia. We barely talk about it anymore, apart from just background connecting other dots. But in the word Tartaria is art, and in the word heart is art, and in the word earth is heart. And they're the three things that we need to be grounding back into because that's what we belong to. Even all this bullshit about simulation theory and all this matrix talk and all this off-world stuff, like we are earthlings. And we need to ground back into the source of our power in order to really carve through into our eldership and our custodianship. Like it's the only way. And it keeps you clean and nothing can stick to you. And you do things that are fun and your energy's buoyant and everyone around you's buoyant. And it's like it is the key to this next phase. And it doesn't have to come in the form of one version of that. I mean, how good's your
Well,
imagination, you
if
two, huh?
we're creative beings, you've got to be
Mm.
creative, right? If you're not expressing creativity, you're
100%.
not fucking expressing any part of your
Mm.
infiniteness, right?
And look at
Creative.
Tartaria, right? All the buildings, all the clothes, the furniture, like everything was so creative. Like it
And
was
beautiful.
to the point that we know that to build those buildings, it had nothing to do with money. It's like how amazing can we make them?
Yeah.
And so that's yeah, what we need to get back to, right?
Yeah. And
But
it's a
like I
work
said,
of art.
we're the creator beings, we're the creation. It's all
Yeah.
creating, or else
Yeah.
it stops like the
Yeah.
never-ending story, right?
We are.
And what's
Mm,
AI is trying to steal creativity is that's like its the
mm,
last thing, isn't it?
mm,
It can only replicate. It just gets information, jumbles it up, and replicates it. And that's what we're seeing in social media. All these truthers, they're just putting out the same thing, and then they're getting each other's videos and sitting there and pointing and and then it's just more. And at the end of it, most of it is them getting their info from the mainstream. And everyone thinks that it's this, truther waking up conspiracy,
Hey.
but most of it literally comes from the Reuters mainstream.
Yeah.
I can
Hey
tell you,
Campbell,
I have
you've seen Big Chocky? Do you know Big Chocky?
Big Chocky. No.
Campbell, you're on mute.
Oh.
Chalky.
no, he's not. He's
Oh, you're
just
not.
not talking.
Anyway, he's like a Instagram. What would you call him? Like influencer. He did a thing with Carl Stefano. Anyway, he's like they've pushed through. They're clearly like some new fucking military asset, like media thing to control and move over to the right wing. Anyway, that's like his videos. He's like, look at this, and then they just shows a mainstream video, and he's like, does that piss you off? But that's like the absorption of what he does, basically.
Mm.
But he's huge.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. You know, in all my time doing all this work and all these shows for the last 6 years, I have never once got any of my ideas by watching social media, ever. Like they're always from random things or random questions that I've asked just while I'm doing the dishes or something I've observed and thought that was curious. It's always come outside of being in front of the computer, hands down.
Same.
Yeah, yeah.
What inspired you to ask the question where the internet come from? Because I would have just went DARPA. That's the end of the story. How the fuck do you get onto like the transatlantic cable? Like how the fuck?
Because Dale, all I asked was like, where did the internet come from and history and the history of it. And so it immediately within 1 minute took me to the transatlantic cable. And as soon as I looked at that, I was like, what? Because to run 5,000 kilometers of handmade cable, they had to build a boat to carry it and ship and bring it all on horse and cart to the boat. And then they had to drop it in the ocean, which to this day is only explored by our version of it, 5%. Which and the deepest part of the ocean that they've managed to explore, but they can't even get down there because of the density issue, the rupture, um, is like 12 kilometers deep. So that's taller than Mount Everest. Like that's a sort of difference in the sea floor So it would be impossible to lay out 5 kilometers, 5,000 kilometers of cable and just lay it on this equal, even surface. And then, I mean, it's just literally no divers, no technology, no electricity, all that shit. It's a ridiculous story. So then I thought, in order for that to happen, they either had help from under the water, like what's under the water, or like it's been plugged into an old power source under the water. And then as soon as Cam and I, and then we found that
Mm.
diagram of the internet, all the
Yes.
layers down to the
Isn't that
prime arc.
crazy? The prime arc
Can
is the
you
lowest
explain
level.
that for the listeners?
Yeah,
Go on,
yeah.
Cam.
So it's very watery, right? We've got the surface level, which is what we get. Then
So this
there's
is the internet. So the surface web.
surface web, yeah. So that's what we use. Then there's is it dark or deep? I can't remember, but deep web.
The dark web, then the
Dark
deep web.
web, which is, which we all know about. Then the deep web, which is the lower sort of background. Then it goes into the
Mariana
Mariana
web.
level, as in Mariana Trench.
Yep.
Then it's the fog level, right, which is supposed to be this level that sort of hides everything. And then the base level is called the prime arc level, as in archon, as in arc of energy. So it's a very weird thing. So we started throwing around the idea, well, which way did the internet go? Did it actually come up? Is this technology and these cables, are they already been there? And so we're getting technology, AI, internet sent up from an underwater realm, or whatever you want to call it.
It makes sense,
that
right?
makes so much sense, because I mean, even like, we're entering what you'd say the second seal now, Dale, right? And 6G is being rolled out, and we're seeing another phase of the awakening, because we always see a replication of technology and the awakening, and same happened with COVID, right? And that is so interesting if you talk about it from like a technological, like the physical cables or whatever coming from the water, and then you go back into the creation stories of that knowledge coming from the water. That is actually a confirmation of that consciousness, because it's always a polarity, like, that you have both, like it's always both. Wow.
Yeah, well, we started looking at the gods, and we've got all these gods that come and give knowledge, right, to the humans.
Yeah.
Pre-Abraham.
Pre-Abrahamic
Pre-Abrahamic religions. And we looked into that, and it really didn't take long. And then we found they're all fish gods.
Yeah.
All the stories of them coming from the ocean. And there's Dagon, and then you've got the Pope, who wears literally the fish head, the mitre on his head.
Yes.
And so all these, creator gods who came up and gave us all this technology, which, by the way, led us to where we are now, they're all from the ocean.
And one other really fascinating point, and we can't go too deep because this is the whole show.
Yes, this is the show.
Totally
This is all you get.
through the whole show, right? And really get deep into it. It's very profound. But the other very interesting thing about this topic is that the deeper you go into the ocean, the more electrical the creatures get. Because in absence of light, it becomes artificial light. And in absence of life becomes artificial intelligence. So this connection between electricity, the very thing artificial intelligence needs, the ocean water and its conductive powers as a battery source, and the internet, it all sort of created a story that was, once we asked the questions, it became very fucking obvious. And anyway, we can't go into it.
No, that's one thing that I thought of, though, Carly. You said like the density of water, right? It goes like, we know this with water pressure, okay? But if you look at like those, especially like the Gnostic model, right? They show the mirrored reality. And then, but as you go down, Jeff talks about this too. We're having Jeff on the weekend. Jeff's like really into it. Jeff Harmon, the astrology, he's really into his Eastern religions stuff, and he shows like the movement of the soul and realities and sub-realities and stuff. But then the density, like the higher vibrations, like lighter, right? And the lowest are the most dense.
Yes.
So it's actually telling us, and this makes sense in the microcosm and the hologram, that the Earth itself and the dimensions of the water actually express the whole layers of the universe in one realm of the Earth realm. That makes perfect sense to me. And then and then So if you go to density, that means the soul's got to even make a choice to go there. But in those models too, that you hit lowest density and then you come back up again, which makes sense that artificial intelligence, it's always wanting to find its way home. So it's trying to fucking come back up out of the water with us that are like the beings that are truly connected to creation. You can like, do you know what I mean? You can see this.
Totally.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that video of that guy who I think he was like a producer or whatever for movie? I think he did Titanic, and there's this video of him. He went underwater.
James Cameron.
Was it James Cameron? I think he died. I don't know if it was it. No. But anyway, they found a lake under the ocean.
He did Avatar.
Remember that? And they tried to get it, and there was a lake like under the ocean. Oh,
that was someone else. Yeah. I know.
And he's trying to go into it, and he's saying he's bouncing off it because it's the density is so different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty fucking fascinating out there. And why don't you guys come to the Blue Mountains and come and talk with us on Sunday? Come and watch the
Bring
show.
your guitars and your ukuleles.
Come and speak on Sunday with us at the gig. That would be cool. Everyone would love that. Then you can tell us all your thoughts on how to.
What's the Blue Mountain Day? Angie's going. She's been trying to get me to go.
Dudes, come.
What's the day?
What is the day?
I'm heavily booked at the moment, Kelly. We are both part of the Matrix now. We both have jobs.
I heard you're a scaffolder, mate. Jeez.
But
man, I never stopped.
I'd love to. We'll see.
I do a full-time job. Full on, mate.
I know. Yeah, just a moment of complaining.
All right, Blue Mountains. It's on Saturday, the 27th of June. So the musos are... Huh? Can you do it?
I might be able to come.
All right.
Come on.
All right, you're booked in then. All right, guys, announcement. Mads and Dale will be there at the Blue Mountains. Dale just... Poor Dale sits there and he just gets
a poster. Your name will be on a poster in a week. Like,
that's right. That's right. Rachel's in the newspaper this month. She only said yes like a week ago.
Dale normally just gets a phone call. It's like, Dale, we're doing a gig. You're coming. And then like all this stuff with his name pops out.
No, I've heard so. They're like, are you going to this event? I'm like, oh, I'm not sure yet. They're like, your name's on the thing.
That's right.
We've already advertised it, Dale. Don't let the people down.
Yeah, come on. And we didn't even talk at the Dollar Swag Toll, so we owe the audience one, Dale. They did come and we didn't get it to it because we're so tired. So, we
got an epic photo though.
What did you say, Madeline?
I said there's a really good horse riding trail there too. I've been wanting to go to. So
well, there you go, mate. And hopefully it'll be snowing and we'll be in Narnia land and we'll be drinking hot chocolates and it'll be fucking excellent. Because normally we're in the heat in the bush.
I just want to have a really cold little nose. I just can't wait.
You want a cold nose?
My cold nose.
Queensland. I don't get seasons here.
Same.
I just want to be so cold to my bones.
Mate, well, you've got a couple of months to get your shit together and to organise like yourselves.
I know, 27th. Okay.
Come on. So on the Thursday and Friday, we've got the musos invited. Any musos come and just turn up to recording studio. It's in Katoomba. And then on the Friday night, we were thinking of doing a movie thing. If we can find a venue. We've got the booked out for the show all Saturday, and then on Saturday night we're going to invite all the musos to perform, and we can play and socialize and have a kind of old school music night where we can all hang out. And then on the Sunday, we were going to go for a look at the Hydro Majestic crazy hotel, maybe some cool lookouts, and then if you guys are with us, we will organize a venue and do a talk. So fuck yes, why not? And we'll be all cold and your nose will be so cold. You'll be so happy.
Well, I haven't had a winter here for years, but I'm not going back to Thailand now, so I'm kind of looking forward to winter.
Oh, I love winter. What, ever?
I love it too.
What happened with you in Thailand? Did you have a falling out? You used to love it.
You in Thailand.
Did you break up? Did you break up? What happened to Thailand?
But actually, Campbell, my friend Julia, she will play in Adelaide if you need anyone for music entertainment.
Oh, Julia.
All right.
All right, Julia.
Come, Julia.
There you go.
On the Sunday, you can come and play with us. We've booked out a venue at a pub. It'll be fun. Right. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Put her name on a poster, Kel. That'll make it.
Do you know what? She's really good. I did this event with Rachel there in was like last year, and she played. Rachel's got her own song too, so she recorded this song.
I heard Rachel sings as well. Yeah. Well, there you go. We might have some tunes on the Sunday evening.
Yeah.
So Rachel's talk will really connect with what you guys have been diving too. Wow. So you've had a chat with her about all the things, or not yet? You're gonna wait.
We've had a little sort
did.
of chat on our stream. We had a bit of a
We spewed
chat,
it all out on
Yeah.
but
top of her.
we want to have a chat before
Oh,
we get
very
to Adelaide.
Are you recording all of these talks, or no, you're not?
No.
No,
We really
we might
like the
be.
live container.
If we
It's
do,
straight to
it'll be
the
the Blue Mountains that we record.
Yeah.
We've always been pretty big about if the people make the effort to come to the lives, it's like a special event that's not broadcasted. Like we like containers, hey, like we like the power of holding it all into a space. And that's what we do heaps of different things. So we've got a newspaper too. Do you know about that, mate? You should
I do.
like
Yes.
all right. So the newspaper is very exciting, but it's a container, right? Like you've got to be a subscriber to submit. It's all uncensored. You can put in anything, advertise anything. It's super cool. Totally and we do not correct anything. So the more spelling mistakes, the more human. We're like very fucking good. Look how weird our world's got. Where actually we're applauding fucking grammatical spelling mistakes as a symbol of
You know
humanness.
what I've noticed? People, it's really obvious when people use AI, and people are actually, I see people purposely make mistakes in their posts now to make it
Really?
look like they're not
You
human.
look human.
No,
No.
if you've got an eye for it, I'm like,
Is
that's
that really?
it's a little bit funny.
Well, makes sense, doesn't it? So the AI, through perfecting us to a robotic manner, is making us a big monocultural echo chamber, and now people have to fuck up in order to be seen as human.
Yeah,
Like how weird is all that?
yeah, and also now AI. I saw this AI post. It was actually supporting One Nation, which was really strange, but it was an AI image of this chick, and she had like they put pimples on her, and all these things to make, and then it was like actually
Blemishes.
yeah, but made her blemished and everything, and I was like, oh my God, and I was like, when I was scrolling, I was like, oh, how beautiful. Wait, no, that looks very AI-ish.
Yeah, mate.
The comments, because the comments always call it out, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you for everyone out there that calls out the AI, because I'm a boomer when it comes to this. I thought I was good, but I am seriously so like I get so taken. Have you seen the ones with the animals on the trampolines?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
man, I got so done by that. I was like,
I
this is the
haven't
coolest
seen
thing.
Yeah, and there were heaps that came out about dogs protecting people from bears and stuff, and they look so real.
Anyway,
But
it does me in.
yeah,
But
Yeah, this
so
is
now
why
it's like
people,
the opposites, like to become more human. Yeah, it's fun.
yes, this is why you all need to take up smoking
Yeah.
and you
Well,
all
I
need to
know I
swear a
want
bit more.
to, but I want to go organic smoking.
Yeah,
yeah, man,
organic.
Manitou.
But do
No
you
one
guys
else.
have organic tobacco?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we've
Manitou.
smoked organic for the
That's
last
all we
15
smoke.
years. Yeah, we
Dale, why
wouldn't
do you
Well,
smoke
get
all their
organic
shit.
tobacco?
I know, because he's a slack ass.
Dale,
Mana-
why are you my
oh,
supply?
I
it.
Why
can't
aren't you her
quite show
supplier,
Campbell,
it.
Dale?
wait. Oh, there you go. Smoking doubles
Manitou.
your
It's so
smoking doubles
But
your risk of
do you
cervical
know
cancer, Campbell.
It's so
the
good for your
government?
brain. It's anti-cancer.
Mm,
It's helps with the immune system.
Anti-snake venom.
and it's so rock and 80s, makes
Hey,
you look
legit,
good.
have you seen this at the moment?
Not
Like
about this, but this.
meningitis. Have you seen meningitis is back now? All this brain inflammation. So, and like I
Oh.
actually know a couple of people that have.
Yeah, no, I think it helps with 5G actually as well.
That's a fucking yeah.
But do you know that the Australian government made every Rolly Tobacco change they uniformed the size, so they're all 30 grams, and they made them change all their packaging, and they made Manitou take the word organic off the packet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we don't associate something healthy and good with the word organic with tobacco. So we had to then do this big deep dive and whether it was still organic, and it's actually still organic. They had to pull it all off and
That's
rechange
criminal.
it.
Mm.
But get this, overnight, was it last year, Cam?
Yeah,
overnight, the tobacco hiked up its prices, and every other brand, every other thing went up like $2, and then Manitou went up $45 overnight. So Manitou for a pouch, the only organic tobacco you can buy is like $100.
Yeah. So we were getting it imported from
Bullshit.
overseas, but they kept seizing it, the bastards.
Oh my gosh.
They've got
But
all
you
our
know,
tobacco.
say like, oh, the doctors used to say like, pregnant women should smoke or whatever, and it's like, well, they probably should have.
Yeah,
Like,
they probably should know.
back then, it probably was really good for them because
Well, man, I've just come back from Melbourne, and I mean, walk around an airport, and I was in the train system as well. It's just everywhere. Don't smoke. You can't smoke. I know you can't vape either. Get away from them. Oh my God, how dare you? Oh, death to all smokers. It's like
Yeah.
it's so full on. But I remember being in the 80s. I remember when they had, like, first of all, you could just smoke on a plane, and then they made a
Remember
smoking
they had all the
section. They
ashtrays
literally
in
put
the
up a little
fucking.
sheet, and you could smoke behind the little curtain in the smoking section.
Were
And
you guys
it's
were you guys old enough to have traveled on an airplane where every single armrest had a little
a little
smoking
ashtray.
ashtray in it? Every
Yeah.
single one.
Yeah,
Never
hmm
never.
It'd be
Yeah, the
full of
little
chewing gum.
flippy ashtrays, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
remember cleaning up. Me and Mum used to go clean the bank that Dad worked at on the weekends, and they had ashtray like the
Big.
ones they had at the pub. You know, the pub you'd have the ashtray on the bottom. They had it at the bank. I
Oh,
remember.
yeah, across the bottom of the
Yeah.
bar. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those big,
Yeah. Classy,
cool,
man.
there's the ones on stands with a little thing
So
you push
classy.
down. They go,
But anyway,
"Wee."
the war on nicotine cannot be denied and needs to be.
Oh,
Undeniable.
and they're
undeniable.
all around, native tobacco is all around the birthing sites in the Pilbara, because it
Oh,
helps
Is
to
it?
bring it helps with the birthing and it helps to bring the baby through. And like it
Yeah.
was all part of the ceremony. Like it's very,
and
yeah,
it also is very good for your telomeres. So it literally helps you live longer.
that's right.
Mm.
It's just everything. This guy, Percy, what's his name? Percy
And your
something. or other.
testosterone.
All right.
Yeah. Is it? No, you
I
can't
mean,
talk.
all
No,
right.
You're not
nicotine.
organic. It's different. You're still
Yeah,
Yeah, it is,
yeah, Dale, you
Dale. Come
can't
on,
talk, mate.
Dale.
Yeah.
Jeez, with your
Oh,
Taylor
Dude,
it's like
Dale.
darts.
it's a
Come on.
transition.
You're
It's a
working
transition.
now. You're working. Go get
Manitou,
some organic
Manitou
upgrade.
do Taylors, mate.
Yeah,
Do
you got
they?
to
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
they
fucking
do.
onto it.
They
fucking
do.
upgrade, man. Jesus. You got to, if you increase your budget to afford organic, your budget will increase. So do that.
It's a wealth principle.
It is
Yeah.
wealth principle. So, yeah, organic tobacco is definitely not a bad thing. And every other country in the whole fucking world has it's just integrated, apart from Australia's the worst in the whole world for rules on this topic. So bad, so expensive. But if you went to any other place in Europe or Middle East where I've been, you can buy a box of pouches, organic tobacco, you get 12 for $80. And that in Australia would cost $1,500. We
What?
are being taxed so badly in Australia. Did you guys see today there was this thing I posted and it had like the fuel prices, how they've increased in the last 3 weeks on all the different countries.
Yeah.
So all of them went up, and I think America was the top of the list at 10%.
Yeah.
And then there's Australia at 39%.
39, yeah.
30 fucking 9%. We are so taxed because this continent, plus New Zealand, also so completely taxed, is the safest in the world. So like they're squeezing us in this way. Like they've got such an agenda for this continent. But regardless, here we are. And it's a good continent in as much as it's stable. We're stable here, it's a secure place to live in these times. You're going to be broke ass unless you can sort
there's
it out.
there's an exodus now in Australia of these
Right.
multi-millionaires now too. They're predicting like another 100,000 millionaires to leave Australia in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And they're going to take everything. But then it's like, what the fuck's happening? Like,
Leave. Really?
Yeah, because of the taxes, man.
The taxes.
Yeah,
It's
right.
fucking bullshit.
Like 50.
Yeah, and New Zealand's got the most amount of bunkers built by millionaires from any country.
Yeah. George Carlin used to say, he goes, if you're born on the earth, you've got a ticket to the freak show. And if you're born in America, you've got a front row seat. I think we've got the front row seat here. I think we've got the front row seat.
We do. We're kind of in the stalls, where we get this really luxurious stall to kind of watch down on it in comparison to the rest of the world who has to live in it. So and plus, we all know where the Indigenous fit into all this, and his kind of nature of this continent and what its true purpose is. It's big. This is where the law was taken from. This is where it all sort of began, and it's big. So to be here in Australia is a very powerful thing this lifetime. Would you want to be in any other country during this time, this lifetime? Australia's good. It's expensive. We're paying for the right to be here, but the more sovereign we get, the more community you get, because the power of community is capacity, right? So the more community you have, the more capacity. You don't all have to have $1 million. You can have $1,000. You got capacity there, all aligned with the consciousness. So, there's ways to rethink how we relate to money in these times. And for us as truthers and having podcasts and having an audience, It's capacity, man. It's the gathering together and choosing something to do together. And you can do it together at the smallest cost.
So true. Community is such a big thing. That's actually what I've been doing. Like I've been focusing more on all the connections I've made. I was really surprised when I moved up here. Like
Where
compared,
are you, mate?
I'm near Central. I'm near I'm like 2 hours
He doesn't
in
disclose that
from
on the podcast.
Rockhampton.
You're
Near
what
Rockhampton.
the fuck?
Okay.
Oh, that's it. You're never getting away from it again, mate. Next time we're coming, we'll just have you on the
Oh,
poster.
I know. But I was surprised. Everyone here is so aware. Like they
Yeah,
and Gladstone
yeah.
community, so amazing. Like I've connected with this whole group of people through my like raw milk black market,
Yeah.
and they're just the most incredible people. And just I've all
Yeah.
started all these little trades, and like I'm like getting raw milk for this woman, and then she's like doing my eyebrows. That's important. And
The raw milk cartel, Kelly. The
yeah,
raw
I
milk
love
cartel.
it.
yeah, and now we've just had this guy who he hooked up with this person down the road. Anyway, he's got a spare paddock. He's letting me put my horses on the paddock. I won't have to spend as much money on hay. And he's just like, it was just, kindness. And then like the farmer down the road, like he helped me bloody, do all this stuff. Anyway, and it's so nice. And I'm like, I'm really putting energy into these connections because it just feels so beautiful and so good. And everyone seems to be on the same page in some way. Like obviously there's layers, and a lot of the time we connect through like taxes, like fuck the taxes and fuck our both, like but
It's like old Australia, isn't it? It sounds like old Australia.
Yeah,
really,
man.
really lovely. It's really lovely, but I'm putting really like it's like a priority for me, like before, I do the washing, it's like what neighbor needs a scone, that's like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I've never had that thought myself, but I think it's nice.
So I'm scubbling around in my
How good's a
smoking box.
scone with
I've perfected it.
Scone. We definitely need to bring back scones. So scones were good. Bit of cream and jam. Jeez.
How are you not
Devonshire
having
tea.
scones when you're having your events at town halls? That's like
Well, we need to find the CWA. That's our issue.
Maybe
we need the old guard.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Bring
you can be the
scones
scone
next
maker.
week.
I have perfected the scones.
I can't wait.
I've got the right.
Can't wait.
Bring the milk. I'll bring the raw milk. I've got the right flour now. I just need an oven.
You can be the head sconer.
Do you put lemonade in to make a scone?
No, I tried it with that, and no, you just need.
Interesting idea.
Interesting idea. No, that's how my nana does it too. Lemonade. Just things didn't work out. And
it probably used to back in the day, but now lemonade's not really the same, is it?
That's right. What is it? Crack? I don't even know.
But something like that. I don't know.
Look, I grew up with Devonshire teas. I am English and I fucking love them. And if I see a sign on the side of the road that says Devonshire teas, it doesn't matter what weird diet I'm on. It doesn't matter how strict I'm meant to be or if I'm fasting. I'm like, I really should feel obliged to try their Devonshire teas. I feel obliged, like I've got a history there and I really need to keep the story going. I need to know if that Devonshire tea in that location was in the top 10, because then that information, it changes people's lives, man. I tell you, it changes.
It's true. I'm like that with sausage rolls.
Sausage rolls are good.
We've
and
all got our little
Lamingtons.
thing, don't
Got to
we?
bring back the Lamingtons. We actually had Lamingtons, didn't we, at Rockhampton? We didn't have the fancy ones with the raspberry jam in the middle. We just had the normal ones. But
you could have the jam.
I know, right? They're the upper class Lamingtons. They're the Lamingtons.
They're the Bendigo ones.
Otherwise, it's just a Lamo, mate. You want a
What
Lamo?
was yours, Kelly, as an English woman? Did you have Yorkshire puddings? I can never get down with them.
She's tried to give me them as well.
Yorkshire puddings. They're like my favorite. A roast with a Yorkshire is the best. And anyone who makes me Yorkshire pudding, I'm just like, man, I'm going to call you mate from now on. I'm going to be like, mate.
Hey, I've been to this place
best Yorkshire pudding ever.
I don't get it, Bella. I'd rather have roast with like mashed potato and then get it.
We can have that too, man. It's not like a compromise. they're like a bonus beat.
Do you know what? There's a great English pub. Actually, it's Irish in Thailand, and they do Sunday roast. Right, so all the English people there go, and it's
so good,
really good. But you can actually get you can get your roast in a Yorkshire pudding, like a massive one. So people are down with that sometimes. I don't know if you've had.
Your roast sitting on a Yorkshire pudding. Oh my God.
No, it's like incorporated, man.
It's like the whole roast is in a massive Yorkshire pudding.
Oh,
That's like
wow.
literally one of my dream foods.
Yeah.
I can't help it. That and the meat and the gravy, I'm just like,
I've only had the healthy version without all the bits that we're not allowed to have. And yes, that must be different to what you've experienced, Kelly, because,
yeah, I've got a
you
very
know,
elegant, refined memory on the Yorkshire pudding.
man,
Yeah.
They
yeah,
bag out the English for having like bland food, but that's fucking good food, isn't it? Like that is good.
Well, it's
it's
classic food,
hearty.
man. It's
Classic,
meat and vegetables.
traditional. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, it's hearty, and that's good because it's got art in it. Someone invented that because they were inspired to come
It
up with
is.
a Yorkshire pudding like where and how, but that person was fucking inspired, man.
That's true.
Just saying. Anyway, back to
Masters.
world events.
Yes.
World events team.
Hey,
Where
we're
are you
running
at with
a
it?
podcast
Like,
here.
obviously, I haven't been paying that much attention. It
No,
just feels like the
yeah.
system's falling apart a
I
bit
heard you
Well,
more
talking a
there.
bit about Candace, the one of your
Oh,
potties.
I love Can. I
yeah,
love,
we like Candace.
Where are you with Candace? You like Candace?
Yeah, I
really
like
love
She's
her.
You're in
Jewish,
there?
man. She's fucking Jewish.
And the
Mate,
problem is
she's black. She ain't Jewish.
She
she's
is so
shepherding
Jewish.
She's
shepherding
bluish.
everyone into Catholicism though. And she does throw out the Jesus is King line a few times. But anyway, I
She's
love
so
it so much
Jewish.
that I just let it go.
Okay. So
Oh, see?
He's a great
is that because
exercise.
she's taken down Erica Kirk? That's been an ongoing saga, hasn't it?
Well, you
Yes,
know what?
it's the daily soap opera.
Have you listened to any of them? Because
I've
the way
no.
she's done it, well, the way she's done it, she did a series, the Bride of Charlie, and it's actually phenomenal. In the way that she has dived into Erica, she's actually woven in all of these conspiracies that I was reading back when I was in my like teens. And she's brought through all of these different things through confirming these connections that Erica and her mother's husband, is it Dale or ex or
She's like
oh,
mainstream the whole Joseph Atwell lifetime actors and like and like military intelligence
just
intertwined and everything. Like she's brought that to the
phenomenal.
it is like
It's
it is,
what she's presented and how she's presented it is blows my mind. But she does have a team. See, a lot of people like she can't be doing this full time. Well, she's not. She's got a whole team that are researching these threads. And then a lot of people are actually calling in and giving her information, and she's.
Have you?
But
Have
I
you?
do think there's an
Sorry, no.
air of, well, I do think there's an air of like really I think that she's really on to something in the sense of like she's following spirit, but I do think there's the opportunity of things infiltrating what comes forward and what is the end result of where she leads everyone. But there is a lot running through it that I'm like, she does feel very, I can't be bought, but that could be
yeah.
But the thing I do
I think
love
she's
is
like I think
calling out the left and right crap,
yeah.
politics.
Um,
I think she's like I think she's part of like Trump's crew, but she's like going after Israel where they can't. That's kind of how it's like. I feel like they're the same feeders of the same military intel dudes. Do you know what I mean?
She's going after Trump as well.
Yeah, she fucking hates Trump.
Mm. So
yeah,
it's
Trump the
very,
warmonger. Geez, he let us down. There will be no wars when I'm president. Jeez.
Right. And
But
you
I
know,
mean,
so they're
do
like,
we think
no
that?
one cares about war, but now it's like it's fucking hitting the pocket now. This is the first time,
Mhm.
which was like always going to be the thing that was going to tick off Aussies, and it's like, I mean, the
Hmm,
part of Australia now is it must be fully destroyed. This economy here, it is like it's been
Yeah.
exposed more than anything else. It's unbelievable.
go and get your gold.
I
But
don't know how long it's going to last. In this, I kind of feel that we're going to be the basket case for the world to see, for the Western world anyway.
I think,
Yeah.
well, I
We
think
we were in COVID, right? We were the
Yeah,
example
it'll be the same.
country. We are the example country of
hmm,
all their systems getting into steroid land.
apparently
You know, with the 39% thing too, Cal, is because like I think a lot of it is like that the hyperinflation could hit here as far as the first place in the Western world,
Definitely.
and like they're just using this oil crisis now too to like
Sure.
to
Yeah.
actually expose what's coming for hyperinflation in Australia.
Well, it's interesting you two are into Candace. I can't stand her. How interesting.
I didn't really watch any of her stuff.
Dude,
And then I watched little snippets, but then her her doing this series, it just came on my, it must be my algorithm of Spotify's. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a listen. And it was the start of this Bride of Charlie's. It's just a really, because she's uncovering all of these other layers through the research. So it's not just talking about Erica, it's actually talking about, yeah, like what Dale said before, like all of these intel agencies and people that have infiltrated through the modeling and connections with the modeling group. Because that was the first thing that I came across. The SRA was a model sharing about her experience being molested by Hillary Clinton, and this entire like ritual and everything that she had performed. I found this in the deep dark forum somewhere, 15 years ago, and that she was a model, and then she knew other people that had connections. And then I also know someone who used to be a model scout, I think it is, and she has had connections with like the Clintons and other people, and is aware of these sort of blackmail business infiltration connection things. And so Candace has kind of shown all of that
She's
through
connecting
just the
her
way she's presented it is really good. Like it's not really like, Dale and I do conversational podcasts. Hers is like a seminar. You know what I mean? Like it's like really, she's just
do you know what it is, man? It's like if I start watching Married at First Sight, and this is why I never do, if I start the first episode, I will watch everyone. I have to. And this is what it's like with Candace, because it's like it's a
what's
TV
married with at first sight?
It's just like just trashy TV.
It's a snapshot of the collective.
Oh, is that one of those where they take everyone on an island and make them do dodgy shit with each other?
It's just reality TV. Reality TV,
but
man.
yeah, like
reality TV.
Is.
That's what it's called.
Just gives you enough, Kelly. Like you're like, I just want to fucking find out why the fuck Erica killed Charlie. Like but you never get there. It's like she leaves you. There's like a little bit more. And tomorrow.
Well, so do we think that the truth can get out? Like, can you be the biggest podcaster in the world and not be censored?
Impossible.
No. She's 100% encouraged. That's what I'm saying.
She's enabled.
Yeah, it's a disclosure operation. She's part of a disclosure, like a specified disclosure operation. That's what, because she's exposing military intelligence ops while being a military intelligence op herself. Do you know what I mean?
Without knowing it, do you think she knows it? I don't think she knows.
I don't think, yeah, mate. I don't know.
Do you know, have you heard of Mind Unveiled, the channel? Mind Unveiled?
He's been debunking her.
He's just put out a video called Bride of Farmer.
You should watch that.
And it's all about her because she married a dude called Mr. Farmer.
Yes, I know.
And he goes into who it is.
Point, he's like a billionaire. I know, isn't it really interesting?
He's all tied up with all these,
And what she was talking about with Erica, I was like, this could have been you, though.
I know. Yeah, they're the odd couple. They're arranged marriage.
They are an odd couple.
Yeah. It sounds very arranged. I haven't watched it all yet, but they met, and then like they were married like 3 months later or something. And
weird. It's like her husband is a Erica.
Yeah. He's in all the secret societies and stuff.
Have you heard of these love bites where they use technology to get someone attracted to someone and they get them to marry? So they actually think the connection's genuine?
Well, by sucking on their neck.
No, well, they
isn't that a love bite?
The term's called love bite. It's like they use like military weaponry and stuff to induce like love or
like frequency type stuff and voice of God technology. Yeah, right.
But they do it. Yeah, they do it to get people together, and they will believe, and there'll be a series of synchronicities, and they're like, because when they met, she married him. Like she met him once, and they were married like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's really quick. I only discovered this the other week, and I was like, this is really strange.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, because her husband used to hang out with like the royals and stuff, didn't he? And Prince Andrew and all these sort of types, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, her show, it actually is captivating. She's a great presenter. And I find it, I don't know, I find it enjoyable to observe.
Is it like the days of our lives for you? Is it? It's your naughty little pleasure.
Allie's like, you pricks aren't coming talking in the phone.
Yeah, no, fucking oath. Let's have a debate about anything. I can't. They're all just the same to me. They're all the
Oh, yeah.
same, from the
I know.
same root, from the same intention, from the same God, from the same movement, from the same algorithms, from the same process, from the same marriages, from the same everything, the same everything. She's just the same everything. And she's in the fact that she's now number one, it's just more of the same everything to me. Like she's just a product of the same thing. So I can't, even if her information's good, I can't even. Oh God. Where oh God.
Yeah, it's like all this satanic stuff,
Religion. A
like
religion.
all this, and we see it, right? It's had all the music awards, but all this weird satanic stuff, and people saying they've sold their souls and doing all this weird stuff. And I saw this video, and the guy was saying, why do you think that is? And it's like, because it still pushes a religious narrative, right? Because it makes you think there's a devil, and if there's a devil, well, there has to be a God, right? Unless
Definitely.
you're thinking so. It's all, like, is any of this uncensored? Like, because we know who owns Google, we know who owns all the internet, all the media. All, do you think there is like a good team who are somehow letting stuff get out?
Yeah,
I think there is, but it's like it's layer one. So they're exposing that shit, but they're controlled by this fucking Yahweh God. Anyway, like when you get into
AI,
that level,
AI.
They're also
yeah,
shepherding people away from learning about the occult, because she has said quite a few times that the occult is dark, but the occult is just what is hidden. And it's hidden knowledge, and it's knowledge that actually sets us free and allows us to understand who we are, and how this universe works. It's just that occult means hidden. It doesn't mean satanic. And so I have heard her speak about that in that light, which makes me go, well, that's really interesting, because actually this knowledge is what sets people free and allows us to actually live without any, authoritarian leadership or government or putting our power outside of ourselves. And we actually understand how the universe functions. What is reality? What is this reality? So she's shepherding people away from looking at that truth to religion and
Isn't she
that.
Christian? She's
Catholic,
Christian, right?
Catholic,
And she's married to a
mate.
Jewish man.
Yeah,
She's saying no
Is he
fucking more.
Jewish? Is he Jewish? Say
He's
no more.
Abrahamic.
Oh my goodness. Is he
no,
Jewish?
but do you know what?
The whole
They're
invasion.
pushing them towards Catholicism. They don't even want Christianity. They
Doesn't
want
even matter.
Catholicism.
It's all Abrahamic. And it all comes from the same technology, the same source, the same intention. Like it's just the same. To me, I've simplified this all in my head now, because I've decided that we're not in a simulation. And that is a fucking way to take earthlings out of their grounding to the earth.
Yeah.
And I think it's bullshit. I fully call out David Icke in the show about this,
That's
Dale.
right.
You'll be fascinating. I'm like, we're just fucking
Louder.
done with the simulation, right? And like, so for me, it's now very simple. It's like, well, there's the simulation, but I don't even want to use that word anymore. I'm going to use system. There's the system run by artificial intelligence since before Abrahamic religions. And that system is that part of a reality. And then there's the organic world, the natural world. And the natural world is relational. It's relationship orientated. Whereas the system is binary. It's binary code, and it started with the Phoenicians. But the earth language is relational. And so there's two realms right now. And so anything that's coming out of the system, to me, is the system. So even if the information's good, it's the system talking, because all the things have to line up for that person to be talking. All the algorithms have to, like everyone behind everything is pushing Candace Owens because it's part of the system, but then like true information has to come from the natural world, the relational world, which is shows like this, which are in relationship with each other as we sit here and talk and chat and smoke with no plan. Like AI couldn't replicate this moment in time with the four of us, right? It couldn't make it up. It couldn't imagine it beforehand. It couldn't create it, and no one would believe it. If anyone tried to re-AI the four of us, anyone who knows the four of us would know that it's not us, because you can't feel it. It wouldn't be relational. And so to me, it's like there's a system and then there's a relational. And so where are we going to be, earthlings of Earth? Where are you going to ground your fucking power source? Because you can get it from the charge that's artificial, or you can get it from the charge that's real, that gives you life. And like nothing out of that system gives life. It's actually anti-life. It's anti-matter. It's anti-life, anti-light. It's artificial. It's electrical.
Extractive.
Anything electrical is extractive.
They're the
exactly.
L, right? The Lites. That's what they are. The people of L.
Yeah.
Electricity, L
Electricity.
actions.
Yeah.
Right?
So
It's all L.
do you
It's
think part of the takeover of the human being is in our biology where our blood is salt as well too? Was that our natural form?
Unknown. That's an edge.
We haven't done biology yet.
It's like an edge, Dale. There's so many edges to all
Cal, do you
this.
know what? What you say, I fucking 100% believe what you say. I use the word simulation, but we've been pulling away a lot from this too, Mads, and especially with
No, I've never been involved in your simulation, actually.
but all simulation to me is structured blueprints that are immovable. That's all it is, right? It's not the literal sense of
It's not we're in a video game.
yeah, like, and
A virtual reality.
I've always said George Cavassos has got it closest, and it's basically exactly what Kelly said, and that's exactly what he said. Relationship with the earth is everything,
Mm.
but and he always brings up the point too within the spiritual world they use all this computer language like I just got a download, I just got plugged in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this kind of terminology.
Mm.
So I think it's good. You have to simplify it, and you're dead right.
Mm.
And then the rest is just what the rest is. What do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
all,
and we know they invert
The rest is
everything,
taking your
right?
focus. That's what the rest is. Just focus. Give us, because
yeah.
that's
But
the whole
I want
intention of
one foot in,
AI.
one foot out too. I want a bit of dipping. I want to dip between.
Dip your toe in both
You're
sides.
gonna be brilliant, Dal. You are gonna be brilliant when you're not on the internet anymore. Your natural genius energy, your brilliance, your natural way of thinking will be triggered so much more. Like I'm absolutely
Mm.
sure of this. It makes the biggest difference to be brilliant offline. So when you come online, you're not influenced by the system at all. You're influenced by, the language of nature and all of the relationships you're having in that space. That's where true wisdom is, like the true and the power of the earth. Oh my God, that's the end of the show. Because man, people don't even realize the technology of the earth is so surpassed AI. Like there's so much more that we don't know yet about the magic and power of our earth as earthlings. And in order to get to that point, we've got to slowly inch our way off the internet, slowly inch our way off being online and taking their information. We've got
Yeah.
to start as a truth community. We've got to start to like replace it now because we're moving into our custodianship. So we've got to start forming that eldership relationship with our power source, the earth. This is why David Icke is so wrong, because he stands there and talks about the simulation, and yet something's charging him. He has life. Where does that power come from? It's not coming from a replicated virtual realm. And he never talks about that. He never addresses nature in anything he ever says. Does he ever talk about the earth?
Do you know what? That was the bit I hated within his last book because he was talking. He actually used the term and he was describing everything in nature as artificial, including like the birds and
Yep.
like I
Yep.
couldn't.
This is a problem with simulation. If we're in a simulation, it is all artificial, but everything they give us is inverted, right? So the simulation is coming. It hasn't been here forever. It's coming. It's the internet. It's AI. It's virtual reality. It's the 2D world, right? The screen. It's not, and then we got to get back to the 3D world because we all know that if you're locked up in an office for a week and staring at a screen and you feel shit, if you go and walk in the bush for a couple of hours, you suddenly feel awesome again, right? Because that's the power source. That's the natural power. Where the
We all know
L
that. Yes.
is the
Innate to us.
the false light, right? The jinn, right? The smokeless fire.
Yeah, you're dead right. Fuck, we all know this, and fuck, I needed to hear this tonight too. Shit.
So you should get off social media too.
Oh yeah, Mads did a little boycott. She did an Irish goodbye. We
Fun. That sounds fun. I could have done
An
that.
Irish goodbye.
She did a
How do you do that?
Irish
T
goodbye.
diddly dee. Off I go now.
I was like, because I like when I communicate with her, it's usually via Instagram and it's usually voicemails. Now and then she just up and leaves. And now she's like, other people send me voicemails on text, and I don't know how to do it, and I feel rude when I text.
Have I sent you one? Oh yeah, I have.
Yes, you're dead right.
And there's just too many.
I've started drawing again, and I've started doing all of these things. Usually be connecting, which I do miss like connecting with people, but then at the same time I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe it'll like make people miss me and then they'll come visit me, you know? So, you know what I'm saying?
We'll
Which is,
actually get to meet
I've
them.
actually had more visitors, which, you know, it has happened. But I was going to say before as well, maybe the simulation is really just not right relationship with the earth, you know? Like it's like how you connect with the earth, it's based off what you've been programmed to think about the earth and to feel about the earth and how
Well,
you relate to the weather and how everything reflects you. And then that's the simulation. And then you get out of that, it's right relationship with the earth. And it's
Mm.
real. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
that's the other big problem with simulation theory. I mean, how many people have you heard say, I'm never coming back again? I just want to get out. Where's the way out?
Or
Yeah.
if someone said that
Basically,
to me the
fuck
other
the
day,
earth, right? We don't care because it's not real. That's what the simulation theory teaches you.
Yeah, that's the biggest trap, I think, Campbell. That's the actual lure of it.
Mm.
I agree. But you know, like you think of how fucked up this is to the being that is the earth that made this incarnation to birth a whole humanity, right? That's its fucking purpose. And then we turn around and say it's artificial
Mm.
and it doesn't really exist. Even the word matrix means womb anyway. So
Yeah, I know, right?
it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
tells you what
Creation, basically. Yeah.
but isn't it a marvelous thing that on the cusp of this lifetime that we've all chosen to be here in Australia, conscious of what's going on? It's a marvelous thing that on the cusp of this, for our community, the system is falling apart. We have no faith in it, no interest in it. It's basically turning to dust in front of our eyes. That's why we're so bored looking at it now. Like it's dust. It's turning to dust. But what it takes for a new kingdom to build, or a new culture, or a new creed, what it takes by all these, weirdo alternative people that are on the fringe of that old system is for us to really reground ourselves in belonging somewhere. Like that's what it takes. We have to be so removed from belonging to something because we can't belong to any of that. So from the beginning of our lives, we never really belonged to any of that. And even as kids, we had heaps of examples of how we didn't belong to that. We were always the ones that are a little bit different from all the other kids. And like that has followed us through to the point where everyone is like, oh my God, I don't even want to be here. I'm not even from here. I'm galactic, I'm palladium, whatever, whatever. I'm never coming back here. What did I do? All this stuff that we are so indicative now of an end result of not belonging to anything, that for us to build and create the new legacy that will hold this realm strong for the next 1,000 years, like we have to get back to our belonging to it. And that is
Mm.
powerful. And it's so extreme right now. Like it's so extreme, the lack of belonging, that by finally belonging again, that charge from the earth will supercharge those who
Mm.
now move back into belonging to it and refer to themselves as a fucking earthling. Like
Yeah.
to really take that on board, feel the goosebumps of that, the goosies, and really get that into your heart. You're an earthling. The power of you comes through the earth. If you want to now open yourself up to the new charge of the new era, of the new age, you have to be on the earth and you have to claim it and know it and understand that's where your legacy is going to ground yourself. And that is where you're going to turn into your eldership. That's your custodianship. That's your
Mm.
legacy. And my God, I'm telling you, without even knowing half of it right, not even a tiny smidgen of it right now, the power of the earth, the technology in the earth, and the magic of the earth far surpasses anything this system or artificial intelligence can offer us by a magnitude it's not even comparable. But we don't know that yet because none of us has claimed our origin from it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
perfect
It's
juxtaposition right now.
it's the longing to be, right? That's belonging, longing to be. And that's what we all want.
but do you think this is like it was all purposeful, the path of like absolute separation through this fucking technology to bring us back to that simple answer that we already knew anyway? Do you know what I mean? That's like you can see
100%.
its purpose. So like it's served its purpose.
Well,
Mm.
for us, it has, for sure. 100%. Remember that the law, what Captain Cook arrived on this plane here in Australia, with soldiers to fucking take the law, to remove the law, which, to this day, we still question, and was that a physical object? Because there's so many physical objects, like the exact comparative object to the law would be the Ark of the Covenant, which is the law of this invader. So we've got like, is law an object? Did they do war for it? Did our Indigenous elders give it to them and reject technology? They literally said that when we were
That's what,
talking
yeah,
to the
yeah.
Strongs,
Mm.
that they chose to reject technology. This was back in 200 and something years ago. And so I reckon that like that process of removing that object like generated what we've been living and experiencing right now. And it's going to shift. But like, why would it shift if the people of the world don't even declare themselves to be of the world, of the earth?
But yeah, but
Don't even give
we
allegiance
have
and
to
reverence to it.
because it's like it's symbiotic. So the earth ain't gonna. It's like us and it has to be conjoined. Has to be.
Mm.
We got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, yeah, we're under a parasite at the moment, right? So yeah, we got to get back to symbiosis, right? It's got to be a give and take rather than just a take. But
I
that's
mean,
what it's doing is it's totally disconnected us so quickly too, right? From nature. I mean, think of, well, I don't know if you're around the 80s, but out on your BMX, cruising around down the creek and all that, it just doesn't happen anymore. And it's not just the technology, it's most parents are too scared, right? They think if they let their kids out that the neighbors are going to come and abduct them, right? Because they've put in this idea to us that we're the ones that we need to be scared of. It's your neighbors. It's humans that go and start all the wars. It's men and women. It's not. The ones you got to be scared of are the allies, and they're the ones that start all the wars and do all the crash economies and all this stuff. So it's not your neighbors. So we've lost our trust in our fellow man.
mm-hmm. So true.
Oh, we
We
got the
truly have.
answers. We got the answers. I fucking
Even like COVID got everyone back out, like going to parks and all of this kind of stuff. And did
Under
you see
controlled circumstances.
under controlled circumstances? And people, like if they were, they couldn't go overseas, so they were in their country more. And then there were all these things coming out. I don't know whether you guys saw it. It was like all these fish that hadn't been in rivers for X amount of time started
Yep.
coming back. And obviously the climate change, people got, they were talking about it was because of the planes and all of that. But actually, from a tribal perspective, that would be because you were back on the earth. We're back on the earth, communing with the earth. And when we're back on the earth comes to life, because we belong on it. We're part of the ecosystem. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, well, everyone's like now going to stay at home more possibly, and there could be these restrictions with fuel. And I was like, there's always that duality of, there's a controlled plan and design, but then also is the earth beckoning us home again. And then people are going to be looking at where they're living and going, oh, like I can't even connect with my home here. Like I'm living in a box, because everyone escapes their life all the time, whether it's work or holidays, and they don't even actually love where they live. They don't love the land. They don't even know where they live. They don't know the land they're living on. And is this the next stage of that connection, relationship to the earth? That I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, that, there seems to be this ongoing coming home journey, which is this connection to the earth. And the first one was kind of like, oh, I actually like this country. I like, traveling. I like, people started, going around in their vans. And, I always preferred traveling in Australia over overseas. I've just loved it. Like my whole life. I went around country balls that was my whole 20s, random small towns. Love it. But all these people, oh my God, Australia's amazing. And so now it's like this big cultural shift, with travel. And then is this next stage, that next, step of that connection to the earth potentially? And does all the seals have some kind of connection to home and coming home? There's obviously too, I'm not saying like the earth created the fuel shortages. I'm just saying like that,
No,
the
that
two
was the
things
system.
playing out, right? It's
Yeah,
really,
I mean, it's calling the souls back, right? Like
yeah.
the sole of your feet. It wants us to walk on it. That's the souls, right? Everyone's talking about finding their soul tribe. Well, take your shoes off and go walk on the earth because
Yeah,
that's,
go walk to them.
yeah, because when you think about shoes, they've introduced shoes. Obviously, now they're all synthetic, right? And they're like, it's so we can't connect with the earth energy. But, that's only, it's electricity, right? That's how they brought it in so that the electricity didn't kill you when you took that into your body and you were standing on the earth. So they put this synthetic layer in. So it's literally a disconnection from the earth energy into the electricity, the smokeless fire. It's a big disconnection they've done there. And all these stories and all this stuff, it's the system. You know, if we were all living out on a block of land, self-sufficient and just living our lives, all of this crap that we pay attention to wouldn't mean anything. You know, there would be no, if there was no system, there'd be no structure big enough to create world wars and to create economies that they can control and to stop oil and to stop all this stuff. You know, it's all the system. It's all the simulation. That's what the
I think,
simulation
Campbell,
is.
I think you're talking about the new age that you plan to create. And in order to do that, the most important thing is to actually dream it into existence. Like you need to have a vision. You need to have a vision greater than anything you've ever seen. You need to bring all the information and all the wisdom and all the knowledge that you've accumulated this lifetime and start seeing a vision in your head. You need to start like lying abed at night and dreaming it up, designing it, creating the next step. I mean, what are you going to do for the next 50 years? You have to start having the vision. Everyone in the truth community needs to make that choice now. It's not about getting the jab anymore. It's about, what am I putting my attention on and what's my vision and purpose for the next 50 years? We need to start exercising that creative,
Yeah.
imaginative ideal again, because without it, it is the nothingness in the never-ending story. And the
Well, it is.
nothingness replaces the dreams.
Ask people their goals, and it's all system goals. I want more money. I want a bigger house. That's all systems crap, right?
Well,
Like
if
it's
you're part
very rare to
narcissist,
find someone who you ask them what are your dreams and goals, and they talk about creativity and the earth and doing something completely that has nothing to do with the system. We're so trained that success and living well, it's the system. You need more money. You need this, but you don't. Everyone's tried that,
It's
and
like
look where
that
it's got us.
John Lennon quote. It's like that one, right?
The John Lennon that we're run by
Peter asked
insane people.
No, he said, what do you want to be when you get
Oh
older?
yeah,
That one. But yeah, you're right. It's like fucking hell. I'm just sitting here shaking my head because like all these things, it's like I'm like so in the system at the moment. Like literally, I'm in it, fully in it. But my takeaway, and this is why I love speaking to you guys. You're fucking on the money. It's like it's getting back to the earth, and also I've been thinking so much about like actually manifesting on like what I want, right? Too, and like what do we want? I
because
think that's the takeaways for everyone.
that's your eldership, Dale. Each one of us and everyone listening to this has to decide on their purpose and vision. You have to decide. You've got to do some work around that. You've got to get clear on that. And the easiest way to do that is to start to go back to your childhood and see where your wounds are. It can take this is not big shadow work anymore. This can be done in a few minutes. And then understand where your purpose has come from. For me personally, it was because I didn't belong. That was my wound as a child. And I tell this story now all the time, but this is a classic metaphoric story from my life, which it reiterated that I didn't belong here. This wasn't like I was always in year one. I've told you the story, Dale. In year one, we had book week, right? We had to dress up as your favorite character. And I turned up, and every single girl in my whole year was Little Red Riding Hood, and I turned up as Darth Vader. So right there, and I was like, what, 5, 6, right there. I got a big hit, full sensory hit of like, oh my God, I don't belong here. Oh my God,
And
I'm
then
so
all you were
different.
trying to do is like express yourself. That's what you liked. You probably liked Darth Vader.
I did. I really liked Star Wars. Dad and I would go to the drive-in. I was in. I love Star Wars, right? So, but the point is that I got so many examples in my childhood of moments where I had a full hit that I don't belong. I'm on the outside. I don't belong to this, and it just reiterated several stories like this. From that, I understand my purpose is to belong, which means I'm very big at creating community that have the same wound, that we don't belong. So we have to create belonging. We have to build it. We have to build the place where we belong because we need to die somewhere we belong because that's proper way. We need to find where we belong on this continent of Australia, in this earth, so that we can pass proper way, which is to die where you belong. And so for me, it's a very easy step through understanding my vision and purpose. And each one of us has pretty much a similar vision and purpose. Like we all kind of have a similar story around that topic for one, but then there's unique ones that we all hold, very unique ones. So, find that. It's not very long anymore. We've done all that shadow work. You'll be able to click into it quick and then understand your purpose of vision and then do it and lead through creativity. Campbell and I put so much time into physically making things and doing things. The physical newspaper, It's so expensive to operate in the physical world. It's expensive to do it physically. It's expensive to do it through the post office. It's expensive, you know. We're going to make a vinyl record or a CD in the physical and hire this recording studio, you know, not in the digital. We do the live shows in the physical and the gatherings in the camps because the physical to me is me moving towards where I belong. So that is my advice for everyone who's listening to this, because we're all in the same boat. You've all been listening, watching, researching, digesting information, and now you've got to ask, where am I going to get the wisdom of my eldership? Where I'm going to grow in the next 50 years to be a sublime human being, to be a sublime speaker, sublime wisdom, sublime, where I can touch people's hearts with words and ideas, where I can like bring them to the highest level of their, emotional landscape of light. Where am I going to get that? How am I going to grow to be that? And I can tell you hands down, whatever your thing is, it is by getting out of that system and taking your attention off it and your energy out of it and just use it as a tool. I mean, I work full time and I use it as a tool all the time. But man, my allegiance is definitely not to it. And like, fuck it. I do not take information out of it anymore. It's not where my eldership is going to go. Okay. My eldership is going to speak like a giant tree of ancient times. My voice will change. All of this is going to shift in the next 50 years for me personally. And every one of us has the same process. They now are called on to begin, to start, to trigger, to focus on, to bring that energy to, because man, this world, it's going to dissolve in the most boringest way. All that's going to happen to us is that we're going to get taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. And we're going to have less and less and less and less money. Yes, we'll probably have less freedoms than anyone else in the world here in Australia and New Zealand. And we're just going to be in that sort of like real shitty financial situation in whatever capacity our lives look. We're all going to have that experience. So like, okay, that's what we're dealing with. That's cool. But like that whole system that's provoking all of that, it's like really boring now to watch. Don't you reckon? It's just so like the ocean topic surprised me, and it's come out of us and it surprised me. And I'm really excited that we have given it, because now we can do a live show on the topic. But man, there's not much more out there that I'm interested in, I tell you.
But that's like, it's the next aha moment is going to come after, like, you will explore this to all lengths, and then you're probably going to be inspired by your own creativity and nature again, and we're going to go on the next fucking round. So like, I think I just concur everything you said. I could not put that into words, but it's like, fuck, that was good. I 100% agree. I can't say anything else.
Fuck yeah. And we've all got such a magical ingredient. Like none of us is the same, unlike the system where they like to money culture us, turn us into a whole big room of carrots with no diversity at all. Like actually we're super
whole bunch
unique.
of Yorkshire puddings that all taste the same. They're all
Don't bring Yorkshire puddings into this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
That's a sacred fucking object. Stick with the carrots.
It's a sacred food, man. Jeez.
Stick with the carrot.
Well, I think we're gonna have to wind it up, guys. I just want to say I absolutely appreciate both your time and your wisdom as always. I've got a lot to think about. I think everyone else will too. A lot of good wisdom shared. But yeah, last, do you want to give the dates for Adelaide and Blue Mountains again, and we'll leave the Tartaria link.
Yep.
All right.
tartariaaustralia.com. Go check it out.
All right. So Adelaide's the 2nd of May. And it's for the weekend. The Blue Mountains is on the 27th of June, including 2 days recording studio and a full weekend. We've got Perth scheduled for August the 22nd, but we'll just see how that pans out, because it's like going to another country over there and the sun's upside down. It's very strange. But, like we're into Perth. It's very expensive with, no fuel. Not that planes need fuel or anything. But
no, we're going to have to fly to Perth. We don't have 3 weeks to take off. But yeah, if you're in Perth and you want to come, then let us know. Like we're happy to come, but we need to obviously, it's going to cost us, $4 or $5 grand just to get there and back, right? Just in air flight. So we need to know that there's enough people there that want us there. So go and buy your tickets. What are you doing?
The next show is Melbourne. Melbourne's always a big one. Dale, you should definitely be on stage with us for Melbourne. That's the 24th of October. Then we've got Tasmania for the 5th of December. And in September, we're doing New Zealand, one show in New Zealand, just for fun, just because we want to go over there and hang out with the
I should go to
Shamans.
Tassie because I've never been. That could
Cool.
be my excuse to go to Tassie.
Well, that's overseas. We can't go a proper
It
OS,
is.
so we can go to Tassie.
And
Yeah.
Dale, if you come to Tassie, you can stay with us at my father's house and meet my very, very hilarious father, who
would be
will have you in stitches and make me make more sense.
I would love to. All right, Campbell, before we end, do you have a recording of this? I'm would
I
kill
knew you were
myself.
stressing about that.
Yes, it's definitely recording. So if you have any issues, let me know, and I shall send it to you. Yeah.
And
Oh,
also,
God, mate.
while they
Yes.
figure out that, because they're not on the Get Your Shit Together hour, where they would have all this stuff down, which is at 7 a.m. every morning. We run a container called the Get Your Shit Together hour, and it's a fantastic, hearty experience where everyone comes together and just spends an hour doing random modalities and just supporting each other. It's very cool. I want to do a open and warm invitation to your whole community to get involved with the newspaper. The magazine is fantastic and it's full and so hearty. It's like the heartiest object to hold in your hands, full of community submissions. If you subscribe, it's $20 a month and you can advertise anything you want, your service, your products, your events, anything that you're doing, your podcast at all. So it's like it's a community thing that's just like pulsing with
Almanac.
love and light. So if you're
Yes.
interested in getting involved in these crazy times and getting something real in your mailbox that your dog can chew or you can read on the dunny, like this is the Tartaria Australia newspaper. It's super cool. You will love it. And it's all community orientated. So we never know what's going to be in it. Any month, there's no plan. It's whatever gets submitted.
Mhm.
So it's every month. You're doing it every month.
It's bi-monthly.
Every second month, yeah.
What if I've got one
And
here?
you can
Here's one of
find
the
everything on tartariaustralia.com again.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
So
Oh.
hold it close. There you go.
So it's just full of articles,
Oh,
anything, you name the topics. It's so right. Like, hello, man with a blimpy there. You can never know what's going to be in it. It's like 76 pages, full color, and it's all from the truth community worldwide.
Mm.
And it's fucking nice.
And it's a record, right, of everyone's, crazy thoughts and ideas and what's going on at this particular point in history, right?
It's a historical record.
Yeah, it's going to be a historical
Yeah.
record, and it's just an opportunity for everyone to get their thoughts out, out to a wider audience.
you need to
Imagine
put something
they're finding like these ancient texts in 1,000 years, and they're like, they can't.
I know, right?
That's right, Dave.
We're going to put them in clay jars and bury them in the desert.
In the great library that we build in the new age that we're going to start creating. Definitely. It's going into the library, into the archives for sure. And by the way, Mr. Holmes, you really need to be putting in a bi-monthly article. You
Still
lazy
waiting,
bastard.
still
Like fucking
waiting.
hell. And Madeline, man, come on, you got to get
I'm
involved.
adjusting to like
share your
work life.
thoughts.
I'm like,
I have a journalist degree. I better get involved.
Yeah, I think so.
Mads is a good writer. I think
All
you
right.
would be good
Fuck
outlet.
yeah,
for-
man. Come on.
We'll be expecting something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to send you both a copy. So give me your address.
I haven't even subbed to it. I
Yeah,
need to
don't do
sub.
it now.
Yeah,
Send
sub
it to
or
us
sub.
later.
Sub
Don't
better.
put it out.
Better to sub. Sub better, obviously. But I'll send you one so you can check it out. And then if you're inspired, fuck yeah, we'd love to have you both. Come on, let's do it.
So we'll leave that. We'll leave all that there for anyone, and we can put it on
Awesome.
an email list too. I think there'll be a lot of crossover. A lot of them are already your crew. But yes, all right. Well, thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much. This has been such a good yarn.
Oh, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it. Had
Isn't
fun.
yarn a nice word? I love the word yarn, man.
Yarn.
Like,
That says yarn.
Like, it's
Did
I
such a
say
good
that?
word.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
did.
not even
It's
a
a
day.
good word.
And we'll see you
Hey, it's
both
been
in the Blue Mountains.
Oh,
see
well,
you.
you're booked in now, you two. You better get your shit together. You're booked in.
You're on the
Everyone, they're
poster.
coming to the Blue Mountains Sunday. Dale and Madeline are going to be there to have a chat with us all. We're excited after they've seen the show and can bring in all of their thoughts. Can't wait.
Oh, actually, Mads, we can plug our stubby holders that we haven't brought out yet.
Key
Oh
holders.
my God, 100%.
You know what you
100%
also need? You need stubbies.
Stubby.
Shorts.
in the
Stubbies in a
snow.
stubby holder.
Hey,
I think
Mads,
Bring
you
back the stubbies, mate.
step by step, but that's where we're leading to. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. I hadn't
Right.
thought about stubby holders, but I should make the merchandising of stubby holders. Hadn't thought about that. Stubby
Yeah.
holders, man. Fuck yeah.
Stubby
Can't go
holders.
wrong. It's so Aussie.
Yeah, with a built-in ashtray on the side of it. So I'll just
And it's
Ah,
conversation starter, based off what you put on it.
yep. All right. I'm in. In your honor, I'm going to make some stubby holders, you two. Just so, and actually, now that it's been announced on the podcast right here, I'm going to put your faces with it.
oh my God, there you go. You've
I'm going
just
to put
both
them,
become
I'm putting these
products.
two in a stubby holder. Why not? That's fun.
They're
Let's
not
have
products
fun
of
with
the
that.
system, products of the anti-system.
Cool. The four of us are going to be on a stubby holder by the time we get to the Blue Mountains.
Well, no, we need to have them. They're not too bad, especially our ones. All right, so
You got competition now, buddy. It better be good.
we'll see you later.
All right,
Thanks,
guys. It's been
Love
excellent.
yous.
So nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you,
Thank
Madeline.
you so
See you,
much.
Mr. Holmes. We'll see you
Peace.
soon. We're going to put this on our show on Friday night, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
you
Campbell.
better give us.
Right.
Have you guys got a
Oh my God.
website or anything? Like, what do you do?
Oh,
No,
Dale,
no.
Dale has a website.
Sky to Earth.
I'll give you the links.
Give
All
us
right,
some
cool.
links. We'll put links under as well, guys.
All right,
Everyone watching
excellent.
us.
It's been fantastic.
Love
Good
you
steed
guys.
to you all out there in the world. Good steed.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Guys, see ya.